Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Hokage. The attributes are greatly increased. Chapter 101, Konoha Village, Hokage Room. Did the news come? Jonin asked next to him. Sarutobi Hiruzen held the information in his hand with a bitter look on his face, quite depressed. Hokage-sama, what's going on? Jonin saw Sarutobi Hiruzen's depressed expression and asked. The entire army was wiped out, and no one survived. Sarutobi Hiruzen said in a deep voice. He really couldn't believe the news. All Anbu's elite were wiped out by the small grass ninja village, which made Sarutobi Hiruzen very distressed. How is it possible? That was Konoha's elite master. How could he be killed so easily? Jonin said in shock. Although he had seen the power of the grass ninja village at the Three Shadows conference, the news that the Anbu elite had been wiped out was still a bit cruel to him. I didn't expect Danzo to be killed too. This is the second time he has been killed. But I'm not sure if 023 is really dead, Sarutobi Hiruzen said in a deep voice. He always felt that Danzo had a backup plan. At this time, there was a loud laugh outside, and a one-eyed man walked in. Sarutobi Hiruzen said, "You are not dead. Cunning Rabbit Sansao, since Kusachiba killed me once, of course I have to pay attention." Danzo said cautiously, looking very proud. Then what Kusachiba destroyed was your physical body, not the shadow clone condensed by chakra. Sarutobi Hiruzen said aloud with a face full of doubts. This is all thanks to your good apprentice, Orochimaru. Because of his research, I can have so many usable bodies. Danzo said with a smile on his face. Orochimaru's research, regenerating embryos. Sarutobi Hiruzen said in horror. Danzo seemed to have foreseen Sarutobi Hiruzen's gaffe and said loudly, "Yes. That is taboo and against humanity. It was for this reason that I opposed Orochimaru and drove him out of Konoha." You are so bold, Sarutobi Hiruzen said angrily. This has exceeded his bottom line. Why give up such a good thing? It can definitely help elites gain a few more lives. It's a pity that the current flaws are too big, otherwise I would have promoted it long ago. Danzo didn't care about Sarutobi Hiruzen's anger at all and said calmly. You still want to promote it? Believe it or not, I will kill you. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted angrily, almost standing up and confronting Danzo. Sarutobi, don't get excited, we also support Danzo in doing this. At this time, a Jonin with glasses came in and defended Danzo. Mito, why do you even support him? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked in confusion. If the ancestor of Konoha, Hokage, can be reborn, then our Konoha's combat power will be so powerful, and we will definitely become the largest ninja village by then, not to mention those secretaries who lost their. Such a waste. Mitokado Homura pushed up his glasses and Tien Sheng said. This is crazy and I don't agree with it, Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted. It's useless. Although you are Hokage, our senior advisory group has planned to support Danzo and continue secret research. Of course it will not be conducted in Konoha village. Mitokado Homura said nonchalantly. Sarutobi, do you hear me? Stop making unnecessary obstructions. After saying that, Danzo laughed loudly, then turned and left. Sarutobi Hiruzen sat down helplessly, but as soon as Danzo walked out, he couldn't help but feel a pain in his chest and fell towards the wall. Danzo, are you okay? Mitokado Homura said worriedly. It's okay, I just haven't been feeling well recently, so I'm a little weak. Danzo covered up. Mitokado Homura saw that Danzo was okay, so he turned around and left, but Danzo held his chest and thought, the quality of the embryos this time is too poor. I'm afraid it will be difficult to replicate it a third time. Grass Ninja Village, Hospital. The color on Conan's face has returned and he looks very healthy. Nagato is naturally overjoyed to see that his companion is fine. Thank you, Senior Sao. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid Conan would have died, and all of us would have died. Nagato bowed 90 degrees and said gratefully. Kusachiba, however, waved his hands repeatedly. He did not dare to take the lead. He pointed at Tsunade and said, "Thank you, Tsunade-senpai. You should thank her for helping." Nagato turned around to thank Tsunade, but Tsunade turned away arrogantly. How did you treat me back then? You should think about how to apologize. This is all a misunderstanding, please don't take it to heart. Kusachiba apologized quickly. After all, for such a powerful medical ninja, if he had a good relationship with her, he could save a lot of trouble. Tsunade wasn't really angry, she was just being coquettish, and she felt embarrassed. After all, she was also in her 30s, and acting coquettishly with a teenage boy was a bit inappropriate. But Kusachiba really gave her a very different feeling. When she was with him, she couldn't help but have a little girl temperament. She felt the same as her fiancé, like first love. It was precisely because of this feeling that she didn't mind Kusachiba kidnapping her, so she came to help. Okay, Tsunade-sama, you are tired after being treated for so long. I will arrange for someone to take you to rest. When you want to leave, I will arrange for someone to take you away. Kusachiba said respectfully. Although Tsunade was nostalgic for Kusachiba, she couldn't be too straightforward, so she turned and left. As soon as Tsunade left, Kusachiba and Kusataki quickly ran towards the Kusanagi room. Kusachiba-sama, wasn't Danzo killed by you? Why did he appear again? Kusataki said in confusion, with a look of doubt on his face. I'm also confused, but I played against Danzo twice and found that he is very weak, which is not consistent with his reputation. I am afraid that he has used some kind of forbidden secret technique. Kusachiba said aloud. After all, Orochimaru in the original work is simply a scientific wizard, with all kinds of fantastic ideas at his fingertips, which is the first of its kind. I'm afraid that Danzo's resurrection is related to Orochimaru's human research, and Orochimaru's research is inhumane and must be destroyed. Kusachiba said aloud. What? Human body research, doesn't that mean using living people? Kusataki shouted loudly, with a look of shock on his face. In vivo experiments are indeed too cruel and horrifying. At the beginning, Orochimaru captured dozens of babies from villages near Konoha for experiments, which was surprising. Okay, hurry up and send someone to check if there are any missing babies in the nearest village. At the same time, go to Konoha to check their movements. Kusachiba assigned the task to Kusataki. Kusataki absolutely obeyed Kusachiba's orders and quickly carried them out. On Konoha's side, Sarutobi Hiruzen had a dull look on his face. He had originally opposed Orochimaru's research, so he drove him away, but now Danzo actually used Konoha's top brass to force him into the palace, which made him very depressed. Hokage-sama, are we going to let Danzo do this kind of research? This is an evil thing. Jonin cursed. This kind of evil research must not be allowed to exist and must be destroyed. Sarutobi Hiruzen slammed the table and said angrily. Then what should we do? Jonin asked. If the news is spread, the people from Kusakunin village will definitely come to destroy it, and let them do it. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. But doesn't this constitute collusion with other villages? Don't worry, go and do it quickly. Upon hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's urging, Jonin immediately bowed his head and said yes, and turned around to deliver the message. Grass Ninja Village, Grass Shadow Room. What? Regenerative embryo research? Kusachiba gasped, this is simply crazy. Once this kind of research is successful, I am afraid that Konoha's legendary first generation and second generation masters will be copied, and that will be a super ninja corps. At that time, unless your system is super evolved and your attribute points are exploded, you will be able to resist, otherwise you will have to watch the Grass Ninja Village be wiped out. Kusachiba destroyed Danzo twice. Danzo probably wanted to eat Kusachiba alive. If he had a chance to catch Kusachiba, you can imagine his end. Regenerated embryo, what is that? Kusataki was confused and didn't know what it was. It means resurrecting the dead with the help of human embryos. Kusachiba explained simply. This is too terrible. This kind of experiment must be ended. Kusataki said aloud. Since Danzo is engaged in this kind of research, he must have a secret base that must be destroyed. Kusachiba said aloud. I estimate that this kind of research has great drawbacks. If it goes well, the legendary first generation and second generation will be resurrected long ago, and there will not be just such a weak Danzo. After hearing Kusachiba's words, Kusataki agreed with both hands and said, okay, everything will follow your orders. Danzo's research base is said to be in Nonin village, which is remote and no one knows about it. It is completely possible to conduct this kind of research. Kusachiba said. Okay, we will set off to Nonin village immediately. This time we must destroy Danzo's research base and kill him completely. Kusataki said with anger on his face. The ninjas from the grass ninja village here are ready and set off towards the wild ninja village. Nonin village, the research site. There are large transparent jars filled with culture medium, and there are living human bodies everywhere, including adults and babies. The nutrients in those jars seem to be designed to speed up growth, which is incredible. No embryo can survive 3 times, and it will get weaker and weaker. Danzo's face was full of anger, and he chopped a living person to death with the sword in his hand. Then, just as his 4th embryo was about to start culturing, it immediately decayed and died immediately. This embryo can withstand Jonin-level cells at most, but the powerful Cage-level cells can't bear it at all, which is really annoying. The speed of research is too slow, which makes Danzo very annoyed. Now he wants to speed up the operation, but the human body cannot withstand it at all. Sir, we also want to conquer it, but the records in Orochimaru's handbook are too general, and we have no clue now. A ninja wearing glasses said, very sorry. Danzo is also under a lot of pressure now. It took a lot of effort for him to get the top management of Konoha to agree to carry out this research. He must resurrect a certain ancestor master within the specified time. To this end, Danzo even used his own living body for research, but it seemed to be of no use. We can't wait any longer. We must succeed in research immediately. We don't have much time. Danzo said. This time he has a showdown with Sarutobi Hiruzen. I am afraid that the news will leak out sooner or later, and the other people in the ninja village will not sit idly by and let him do whatever he wants. Kusanagi village will be the first to attack, and when he thinks of Kusachiba Danzo, he becomes angry in his heart. He has ruined many of Danzo's good deeds. That Kusachiba, once the research is successful, I will definitely let him die. Danzo said bitterly. Soon, Kusachiba and his party came to the No Ninja village, where there were a dozen or so ninja guards scattered outside. Kusataki, be careful and don't scare the snake. Yi ordered. Sir, I understand, Kusataki said in response. After saying that, Kusataki equipped the Jonin tool, the kunai appeared in his hand, and launched it towards the ninjas. The ninjas heard the sound of kunai breaking through the air and hurriedly stood up to resist. Fire style, fireball. I saw a great fireball coming through the sky, carrying a scorching temperature. Where it passed, the vegetation withered, and the heat of the hot flame could be felt from a distance. Kusataki immediately came to the fireball ninja and shouted, water-style water cannonball. A huge cannonball was shot out from the ground, full of blue chakra. This water cannonball was filled with strong chakra and hit this side. The fireball technique couldn't resist the huge water cannonball, and was evaporated in an instant. However, the power of the water cannonball remained undiminished, and it hit the ninja. The ninja was hit by the water cannon and hit the wall hard, creating a large human-shaped crater. He immediately lost his combat effectiveness and collapsed. Earth-style Earth Dragon technique. As soon as Kusataki stood still, he saw a huge Earth Dragon rising from the ground at his feet. Kusataki was just at the dragon's mouth. If it was hit, Kusataki would definitely be injured. Water-style water tentacle. Zabuza quickly formed a seal, and a huge blue tentacle grabbed Kusataki, instantly rescuing him and freeing him from the threat of the Earth Dragon. Wind-style, wind explosion technique. Kusachiba formed a seal and quickly earth coiling in the air, raising a small tornado and attacking the huge Earth Dragon. The Earth Dragon was surrounded by the tornado, and the earth was torn into pieces, turning into pieces of broken earth. After this scene, a ninja appeared in front of Kusachiba. Kusachiba backhanded a kunai and hit him in the throat. The ninja died before he had time to react. The movement here was too big, already alerting the people inside, and nearby ninjas immediately came out to reinforce. Since you've been alarmed, let's go out and do something big. Don't hide it, Kusachiba said aloud. It would be pointless to pretend any longer. After hearing Kusachiba's words, everyone stopped holding back and attacked frantically. The ninjas outside were not strong. Except for the 2 just now, the others were very weak. Almost immediately, these people were beaten to death, leaving no one alive. Kusachiba led his ninjas to rush into the base, but as soon as he entered, Shankoi was stunned by the sight in front of him. A group of women with big bellies were lying on the test platform, being treated like animals and undergoing some kind of surgery. They looked extremely cruel. Danzo, these are a group of innocent girls, and he actually did it. Kusachiba said angrily. Danzo, you must die. Rows of girls were lying on the experimental table, and an unknown liquid was injected into their bodies by a group of ninjas. The faces of these girls were lifeless and dull, as if someone had cast a spell on them. Seeing this scene, they who were supposed to be in their prime were actually reduced to carriers of experiments here. This group of girls were then driven by the ninjas like cattle and sheep into the large tanks filled with culture liquid, where they were left soaking and lifeless. Chio, why are you here? Kusatake shouted when he saw one of the girls. Kusachiba saw Kusataki's eager look and asked in a low voice, do you know her? She was my childhood playmate. I thought she was missing, but I didn't expect her to be here. Kusatake said angrily, and after that, he rushed in. Hearing Kusatake's cry, the girl in one of the large jars opened her eyes and glanced at Kusatake, but no sound could be made through a glass screen. Chio could only smash the glass eagerly, whining but unable to make any sound. Seeing this scene, they could no longer bear it and could only take action quickly. I'm going to smash this place up, Danzo, and I'm going to kill you. Kusatake's eyes turned red and he shouted loudly. Seeing this scene, Kusachiba knew that his goal was achieved and Kusatake was about to explode. Just to arouse their hatred, this inhumane experiment must be stopped. The movement here attracted the attention of the ninjas in the field, and they immediately came over to attack Kusatake. To their surprise, Kusatake armed himself with ninja tools. A ninja sword appeared in his hand, and slashed at an approaching ninja. The ninja was just about to form a seal, but was struck by Kusatake's lightning-fast sword. He was instantly split into two halves, blood spilled all over him, and the guy died. At this time, Kusatake felt muddy under his feet, and saw one of the ninjas forming a seal and shouting, Earth-style, mud swamp. Where Kusatake was, the apprentice became soft, and his body fell downwards in an instant. At the same time, in the swamp area, a vine actually crawled out and wrapped around Kusatake's body, preventing him from getting out. Blood inheritance limit, vine entanglement. A girl wearing a purple dress with long fiery red hair walked out, slowly walked up to Kusatake and said, I didn't expect that I could actually kill a strong man with cage-level strength. It's really surprising. The female ninja stuck out her tongue and licked the narrow ninja sword in her hand. After saying that, she took the ninja sword and wiped it towards Kusatake's neck. The female ninja's face was filled with color, and she said, just wait for death and don't make any unnecessary struggles. From the kunoichi's point of view, her blood inheritance limit is very powerful. Once entangled by her vines, it is difficult to escape. Michiko, I didn't expect that your vines are so powerful. When combined with my mud swamp, they can be said to be a killer weapon. The male ninja said aloud. Hearing the compliment from the male ninja, Michiko was intoxicated, but she did not stop taking action. Soon, the narrow ninja sword was wiped towards Kusatake's neck. But Kusatake had already been prepared. Before the sharp ninja sword slashed his neck with a sound of breaking through the air, he curled his fingers to form a seal, and a large water column suddenly appeared from the ground, blocking the offensive of the ninja sword. Seeing this scene, Michiko had questions, but what he responded to was Kusatake's super move. Water style. Super strong water column. A water column about 40 to 50 centimeters thick appeared on the ground. Michiko's arm was instantly cut off by the water, and her whole body was swept away. The large jars filled with human subjects were destroyed, and many human subjects escaped from them. Seeing this scene, the male ninja shouted in pain, no, my art will be ruined by you guys. My art, you all die for me. The male ninja looked sad, as if he had lost a close relative, and an earth dragon jumped up from the ground and killed Kusatake. Kusatake had just broken through the mud under his feet, now he had no energy to deal with this sudden earth dragon. What's more, this was a hateful blow from the male ninja, and Kusatake might be seriously injured in an instant. Kusachiba flew in front of the male ninja, a ninja sword appeared in his hand, and slashed at the ninja. The ninja was instantly hit by the knife and fell to the ground, becoming a dead body. At the same time, Kusachiba used water style to instantly extinguish the earth dragon and turn it into soil, saving Kusatake. Seeing this scene, Kusatake said gratefully, thank you, sir. Kusachiba said aloud, don't mess with these nonsense, go find someone quickly, take away the bamboo slips and destroy them. Kusatake was in a very anxious mood, and came to his familiar playmate Chio. Chio came out of the big jar, numb on one side, with no life left in his body, and it was obvious that he would not survive. "Wake up, Chio, wake up!" Kusatake shouted unwillingly, trying to wake Chio up by torture. It's useless. Her body functions have been extremely damaged. Leaving the nutrient liquid is no different from death, Kusatake said coldly, with a bleak tone in his tone. What an inhumane experiment. For the sake of their so-called experimental ideals, they actually took so many human lives for a moment. Danzo and Orochimaru were really cruel. You guys, how dare you come to destroy our Danzo-sama's experiment, you all must die. After saying that, the female ninja rushed towards Kusatake as if she was crazy. The ninja sword in her hand was extremely sharp, and she ran over with red eyes. Kusatake was too lazy to pay attention to her. He came to her side in a flash and kicked her. Suddenly, the female ninja was like a gourd rolling on the ground. Get out more than 10 meters. When she turned around again, she spat out a mouthful of blood and said, Danzo-sama is great. He did this for the dominance of Konoha, you guys. It's about money. For the sake of Konoha's hegemony, you must die for me. Michiko let out a crazy laugh, and a burst of flames suddenly ignited on her body, and she rushed towards Kusatake. This is the ultimate exchange of 1 for 1, and she wants to die together with Kusatake. Kusatake left instantly and appeared behind Michiko. The ninja's sword flew out and hit her heart. Michiko let out a wailing cry and fell to the spot. Stupid woman, she's just a cannon fodder, yet she's so superior, Kusatake said unhappily. At this time, several ninjas rushed out. Kusatake took a look and shouted, water-style diversion technique. Water pillars appeared on the ground, and all the running ninjas were hit to the sky by these water pillars, and all of them lost their fighting ability. Follow me, leave 2 people to destroy the outside, and don't leave anything that can be used, Kusatake said, with a righteous look on his face. Kusatake continued to rush inside, but when he saw the scene inside, although he had just been shocked by the scene outside, he was still shocked by the scene in front of him. There is also a pair of large jars inside, all made of glass, but they are full of bodies from babies to adults, and every 3 jars are the same. What is this? Kusatake said in shock when he saw this scene. I'm afraid it's Danzo's in vivo experimental research, Kusatake said solemnly. The scene in front of him was beyond his imagination. Ah! A miserable howl came from a distance. Kusatake looked up and saw that it was the person who was killed by Danzo. But soon, the person who was hacked to death turned into a ball of flesh, and then quickly transformed into a cocoon-like thing, staying on the ground. Soon, the cocoon burst, and a man who looked exactly the same as before crawled out. Looking at him, Danzo slashed with his knife without saying a word, and repeated the same process. But this time, the flesh cocoon formed too slowly. The person who came out this time was very thin, with a sickly look on his face, and could not stand firmly. Danzo struck again quickly, and no flesh cocoon appeared this time. But it was just a little bit of meat and blood. The ninja next to him immediately swept away the drowning and watched Danzo continue. This is making fun of people's lives. It's inhumane. Kusatake felt shocked when he saw this scene. I have never seen such an appalling thing, and I was shocked. Let me go. This Danzo actually did such an appalling thing. Does Konoha allow him to do this? Kusatake smiled slightly and said, once it comes to dominating the ninja world, I'm afraid no one can watch quietly. After hearing what Kusatake said, Kusatake said, then, sir, what should we do? Kusatake smiled slightly and said, what else can we do? Keep going and destroy this place completely. Therefore, this group of ninjas from Kusanagi village, led by Kusatake, were like tigers descending from the mountain, breaking all the large training tanks. They were going to die in Danzo's hands anyway, so it was better to be happy and let them die quickly. Kusatake, it's you again. Danzo was still stepping up his research, but Kusatake suddenly appeared, which surprised him. Danzo, I didn't expect that you are still alive after being so cunning. If I hadn't noticed something unusual this time, I might not have known that you were doing such a crazy research. BDCF. Kusatake scolded. I am also for the hegemony of Konoha. Once my research is successful, there will only be one ninja village in the world, and that is Konoha. There will be no other ninja villages. Then there will be no disputes and no more wars. Isn't it good? Danzo said with an arrogant look, immersed in the dream he had weaved. Haha, your excuse is good, but these innocent girls who were killed by you still have innocent lives. Are their deaths in vain? I'm afraid 1,000 deaths will not be enough for these evils you have committed. Kusachiba shouted. While holding hands, a ninja sword appeared on his body and slashed at Danzo. Protect your lord, let your lord retreat first. 6 ninjas suddenly rushed up, and Danzo took the blame. More than 20 shurikens flew in front of Kusachiba. This was quite sudden. Kusachiba was not prepared, but was thrown into a panic. But Kusachiba was not nervous. The ninja sword in his hand slashed at the group of shurikens, and they were all sent flying. This group of ninjas had also heard about the power of Kusachiba. Of course, this wave of offensive could not defeat them. Soon, they continued to attack Kusachiba. This wave of attacks mainly relies on ninjutsu, and there is actually a ninja who uses poison gas. Blood succession limit, poison fog wandering. Suddenly, a sheet of gray fog drifted towards this side. It looks very scary. The group of people who came out of the culture tank were all poisoned by the poisonous gas. They fainted and never woke up again. What a powerful poisonous gas! Kusachiba said in a deep voice. We can't let him create poisonous gas anymore, I'm afraid it will be very difficult. After saying that, Kusachiba held his breath, and a flash goddess came to the poisonous gas ninja. He took out his sword and cut his throat instantly. The poisonous gas ninja followed the last steps. The cry of unwillingness died immediately. The remaining 5 ninjas began to attack Kusachiba at this time, but in Kusachiba's opinion, their offensive methods were indeed ordinary, and coming over was basically the same as sending them to death. Kusachiba took action quickly, and the 5 ninjas were unable to resist at all. Kusachiba killed them all like cutting grass. Kusachiba is like a Shinigami harvesting life at this moment, making Danzo's ninjas terrified. You guys keep going, the executioner's accomplice is frozen in place. Kusachiba's ninja sword was bleeding and looked extremely bloody. Kusachiba picked up the ninja sword and gently put it on his tongue and licked it with a fierce look. These Konoha shinobi who usually killed people felt weak and their legs could not help but tremble. He is simply a devil. Run away. The remaining ninjas screamed and fled in all directions. A bunch of cowards, all die. Danzo suddenly appeared and killed all the scattered ninjas. At this moment, Danzo is a monster. His upper body is bare-chested, and he actually has a Sharingan. One arm is exuding black mist. It looks like it is covered with poisonous mist. The other arm is so thick that I don't know what species it is grafted on. Arm. At the same time, Danzo's lower body seems to have been strengthened, and his 2 calves are strong and powerful, which is indescribably weird. I didn't expect that the dignified leader of Konoha Anbu would actually transform himself into something nondescript. Kusachiba said aloud, full of ridicule. As long as you can defeat the enemy and kill the enemy, it doesn't matter what kind of transformation you have. You grass ninja, if you hadn't repeatedly obstructed me, how could I have failed? Danzo's single eye exuded resentment, and he wished he could eat Kusachiba alive. It's obvious that you are the one who committed the crime, but you still blame others. Go to hell and repent. Kusachiba attacked first, not giving Danzo a chance. Of course, Danzo knew how powerful Kusachiba was. He had already learned his physical skills. Danzo used his strong arms to resist Kusachiba's attack. Danzo was very confident in his thick arms, but he still felt extremely painful when he was stabbed by Kusachiba's ninja sword. Kusachiba was surprised to see Danzo's arm and his own ninja sword. He was very confident that he could cut off Danzo's arm with one knife, but it only scratched a little skin. Such a strong arm, I don't believe you can see through it. Come again. Kusachiba jumped up and slashed out again. There was a stern look in Danzo's eyes. He didn't expect that even though he had strengthened to such an extent, he still couldn't suppress Kusachiba in one fell swoop. When did this fool evolve again? Danzo said anxiously with a worried look on his face. But at this point in the fight, both sides have no way to retreat and can only fight hard. Kusachiba, I will send you to death this time. Danzo shouted loudly, holding a ninja sword in his arm full of poisonous gas, and stabbed Kusachiba in the face. Kusachiba quickly came to stop him with his ninja sword, but Danzo's arm contained poison, which made him feel dizzy. The ninja sword in his hand was naturally weak, giving Danzo the upper hand. Fortunately, Kusachiba retired early, otherwise she would be the queen this time. Go to hell. The ninja sword in Danzo's mouth was slashed towards Kusachiba. After being exaggerated by the poisonous gas on Danzo's arm, it was already poisonous and glowing with a faint blue light. Kusachiba dodged and kicked Danzo's feet. Danzo's lower legs were transplanted from an unknown species, and they looked strong and powerful. Danzo's speed has increased a lot, and he is very agile. He can compete with Kusachiba equally well, and his strength is sufficient. Seeing this scene, Kusachiba felt that it was a bit confrontational. Interesting. Come on, Danzo, let me see what you are capable of. Kusachiba said, ready to start a fight with Danzo. Danzo saw the uncomfortable expression on Kusachiba's face and knew that he had made the right choice, and said, go to hell, Kusachiba, I have tolerated you for long enough, this time I will definitely destroy you and let you know how powerful I am. Seeing Danzo's attack, Kusachiba thought that he had more than 600 attribute points that were useless. Kusachiba clicked on the attribute panel and saw that his physical skills had reached the top level before, but Kusachiba took a look and saw that the progress bar there had actually lengthened again, leaving a large gap. What's going on? According to the system's previous calculations, I have reached the top level, but why can I still evolve now? Kusachiba asked the system with a face full of doubts. Ding, because of the addition of the system, there are some unknown factors, so the abilities of some characters will change. This is something the system did not expect. Chiba heard the system's explanation. Laozi was so happy, he thought his physical skills had reached the highest level. Kusachiba said helplessly. Excuse me, do you choose to add all attribute points to physical skills? The system prompted. Add it all to taijutsu. Kusachiba prompted. Ding, all are converted into physical skills. Your current physical skills level is the strongest in the current realm. We can detect the physical skills attributes of your opponent for you. Choose whether to accept it. The system prompted. When Kusachiba hears it, he should give it a try. If it can detect the opponent's level, it is of course the best wait. Soon, Danzo's attributes appeared in front of Kusachiba, all presented in a data visualization style, just like the game characters, which can be seen accurately. Oh, now Danzo's taijutsu attribute points are 100 points lower than mine. I have an absolute advantage and can completely hit him with a critical hit. Kusachiba said ecstatically. Danzo's physical skills caused trouble to Kusachiba before, which made Kusachiba very upset. Now he wants to regain his place. Kusachiba didn't hesitate at this moment. He came to Danzo's side in a flash, held himself on the ground, and kicked Danzo's body sideways. Danzo was kicked into the air by Kusachiba, and he was about to fall. Kusachiba kicked him like a sandbag, and he was kicked to the test bench in the distance. You fool, you did this to me. Danzo cursed, feeling insulted. Kusachiba ignored Danzo and started a new round of beatings. Although Danzo was very strong after the transformation, he was still kicked everywhere by Kusachiba and was extremely embarrassed. Although Danzo could occasionally throw in a move or two, it would not help at all and he could only be passively beaten. Ah, you actually dare to tease me like this. I'll kill you if I don't. Danzo couldn't help but cursed. It's a pity that the weak man's roar cannot win the strong man's attention. Danzo's so-called verbal threats are hilarious to listen to. You have to have this ability to kill me. Kusachiba sneered, his words full of sarcasm. Danzo was so angry that he vomited blood this time. He was the leader of Konoha Anbu, but he was teased by a junior, like a monkey. Suddenly, Danzo put his hands sideways, his face turned red, and he shouted, "Ah!" Asterisk. After a loud shout, Danzo's body began to change. The limbs began to strengthen again, the legs became thicker, one of the deformed and powerful arms became thicker, and the other arm filled with poisonous mist began to turn dark and began to emit poisonous gas-like substance. Seeing this scene, Kusachiba's face twitched. This was basically transforming himself into a monster. It was too cruel. Kusachiba used the same speed to hit Danzo again this time, but he didn't expect that he could resist it and keep up with Kusachiba's speed. Haha, boy, you forced me to do this. Don't blame me for being rude. Danzo's one eye glowed a terrifying red color, which was extremely terrifying. But Kusachiba's expression remained unchanged and he said softly, "Since you want to die, then I will help you." Danzo punched, making wind and pain, but Kusachiba was very fast and got out of the way. Danzo's group of punches were knocked out of the way, and a big hole was made in the wall. Oh haha, I didn't expect you to be able to hide very quickly, but you want to run away, how is it possible? Danzo made a frightening sound in the air, which was shocking. Look at my fists. At this moment, Danzo was like a crazy beast, with a heart-stopping red light flashing in his eyes. Wherever his fist hit, a dust storm would be generated there. Although it did not hit Kusachiba, the place was completely destroyed. Kusachiba knew that Danzo could not continue to fight, so he began to look for opportunities to counterattack. Wind style, air explosion. Kusachiba shouted loudly, and a substance like air cannon flew out and hit Danzo. Danzo was horrified when he saw the scene in front of him, but he still had absolute confidence and threw his whole body forward, wanting to destroy Kusachiba's jutsu and get rid of it at the same time. Seeing this, Kusachiba sneered. How could his chi explosion technique be broken so easily? It was too simple. Danzo had just come into contact with the air blast technique. As soon as he came into contact, a big explosion immediately occurred, immediately injuring Danzo. Although his body was very strong, he was still blown far away and was covered in blood. Ha ha ha, so powerful and interesting. Danzo was blown to the ground. Not only was he not angry, but he laughed wildly. Kusachiba was surprised to see that Danzo was not injured. He did not expect that Danzo's body could be strengthened to this extent. However, Kusachiba knew better and decided not to give Danzo any chance of survival, otherwise the consequences would be serious. Kusachiba decided to take action personally and prepared to activate Sage Mode. 4 substantial chakras appeared behind him. I didn't expect you to turn on Sage Mode, but it's useless. Danzo said. After saying that, Danzo actually started to condense chakra, and poisonous mist appeared on the poisonous hand, releasing a large amount of acidic liquid, looking extremely ferocious. Poisonous gas turned into liquid. Kusachiba was shocked by Danzo's action. He did not expect this to be the case. Spray. The arm became a launcher and started spraying towards where Kusachiba was. Of course Kusachiba would not be hit by the venom, 373. However, the venom was highly acidic and corrosive, and it actually broke a big hole where it fell. Seeing this scene, Kusachiba became slightly wary. If this liquid were sprayed on him, his body might be eroded. Kusachiba teleported to Danzo's side to avoid being attacked by Danzo from a distance and could only be passively beaten. Danzo seemed to be deliberately guarding Kusachiba. He was predicted by Danzo as soon as he appeared and could only avoid it with the help of Shadow Clone. The Shadow Clone was corroded by the venom and turned into acid mist in an instant. It's very corrosive, and Danzo's move is very insidious. Kusachiba thought, and he needed to be careful. Kusachiba began to gather wind-style shurikens in his hands, preparing to strike Danzo. Of course, Kusachiba's first target was Danzo's poisonous hand. The presence of that poisonous hand is too much of a hindrance and must be removed. This time, Kusachiba first separated 4 Shadow Clone. Each Shadow Clone has the wind-style shuriken of Sage Chakra condensed in its hand. The power of chakra in Sage Mode is several times that of ordinary chakra. If Danzo is hit by this move, his arm will definitely be destroyed. Seeing the power of Kusachiba's shuriken, Danzo couldn't help but be on guard. His poisonous hand was a powerful weapon. If it was destroyed, his current strength would definitely be reduced by half. Although Danzo had been on guard, Kusachiba suddenly launched an attack, and 4 Shadow Clone launched at the same time, attacking Danzo's location. How could I be defeated by your little trick? I can just attack your body directly. Danzo seemed to think that he had found Kusachiba's body and said proudly. Danzo jumped over the 4 Shadow Clone and came to Kusachiba's body. Chiba seemed to be stunned. Okay, boy, you have today, go to hell. Danzo shouted loudly, and after speaking, he grabbed Kusachiba. But Danzo hit the air this time, and it turned out to be a Shadow Clone, leaving nothing behind. How is that possible? Danzo said aloud, looking at the shadow clone in front of him, with a look of disbelief on his face. But Kusachiba didn't give him a chance at all. He came up behind him and launched 3 shadow clone and 4 wind-style shurikens at the same time. This time it was a wind-style shuriken mixed with senjutsu chakra. The buzzing sound was accompanied by the explosive sound of the air minister. Danzo looked at Kusachiba's wind-style shuriken in horror. He was stunned on the spot, unable to move his feet at all, and could only watch helplessly. The shuriken had strong power and hit Danzo instantly. Of course, the most important thing was hitting Danzo's poisonous hand. The poisonous hand was instantly smashed by the strong force, and the poison spread throughout the space, corroding all the large jars. All the experimental human bodies in the jars were poisoned to death, and the ground was full of dead people, which was shocking. It's so powerful, it's so toxic. Yi saw the scene. Kusatake and the others did not dare to block it, and they all avoided it, waiting for the highly corrosive acid rain to fall by itself. Kusatake looked at the falling acid water and said in surprise, "It's terrible." The bodies of the poisoned experimental human bodies were completely corroded and covered with big pits in front of the acid rain that fell one after another. At this moment, Danzo covered his arm, wailing in pain, his eyes full of fierceness, and said viciously, "Kusachiba, you deserve to die, you destroyed the perfect arm that I spent so much effort on making. You must die for me." After saying that, Danzo, who had only one arm left, suddenly roared loudly, and his whole body immediately expanded into a ball of flesh, and fleshy human tentacles began to appear on it. "You really transformed yourself into a monster," Kusachiba said with emotion when he saw this scene. A tentacle suddenly stretched out from Danzo's meatball and stretched out towards Kusachiba. The tentacle was wrapped with chakra. When this chakra touched Kusachiba's sage chakra, it actually made a hissing sound. Such a strong corrosive chakra, where did Danzo get such a thing? Kusachiba said when he saw the chakra on Danzo whose properties could not be clearly seen. But Kusachiba didn't give Danzo a chance at all, and was about to launch his strongest ninjutsu, the giant god fire dragon technique, hoping to finish off Danzo in one go. Danzo was now transformed into a meatball, and it was not easy to move at all. Kusachiba instantly came to him. Although Danzo was covered in tentacles, he also had his blind spots. Kusachiba calculated his blind spot and shouted loudly, "Fire style, giant fire dragon technique." A huge fire dragon fell from the sky. The explosive temperature and the flying flames would cause the entire body to be scorched if it came close. Meatball Danzo saw the huge fire dragon falling from the sky. Although he wanted to avoid it, the huge fire dragon surrounded Danzo tightly and did not give him any space. Soon, Danzo turned into a ball of fire, howling in pain from his mouth, his whole body crackling, and it seemed that he would not survive. At this time, Kusatake suddenly ran over, holding a note in his hand, and said to Kusachiba, "Sir, this is the note Danzo used for research. It seems to have been left by Orochimaru." Kusachiba took it, without even looking at it, and threw it onto the fireball. Soon the entire letter turned into flying smoke and disappeared. Seeing this scene, everyone was very surprised. Kusatake said, "Sir, why don't you use it for research? This kind of research that costs people's lives is better than extinction, and should not be alive in the world." Kusachiba said solemnly. Kusatake wanted to say something else, but rocks began to fall from the base, and it was about to collapse. "Come on, get out of here first, you can't stay here for long," Kusachiba said loudly, and ran outside first. Seeing that the situation was bad, Kusatake and others ran outside with Kusachiba, fearing that they might be buried alive. "What? Danzo is dead," Sarutobi Hiruzen said looking at the information. To be honest, when Danzo was killed, his mood was very complicated. After all, Danzo had grown up with him, which made him feel very embarrassed. "The roots of Konoha are finally gone," Sarutobi Hiruzen said with emotion. "Hokage-sama, don't be sad. There is nothing we can do about it. Danzo-sama went too far," Jonin said next to him. Before Sarutobi Hiruzen looked sad, it couldn't be false. The two had been friends since they were teenagers, and they had the same master, so they had a deep relationship. "I just didn't expect Danzo to leave so fast," Sarutobi Hiruzen said. block the news and pay close attention to the movements of Kusakunin village. I feel that they are about to rise. Jonin bowed his head to accept the order, then turned around and went out, ready to carry out Master Hokage's order. On Kusachiba's side, they had just finished things. Although no one was killed, many people were injured. The poisonous mist caused by Danzo made people palpitate. Now he had no time to think about anything else. He wanted to quickly return to the grass ninja village for healing. At this time, Kusachiba's system rang. Ding, this time you kill the ninja and get 200 bonus attribute points, which can be used to choose to activate attributes. Kusachiba saw that most of his attributes were very small. It was Chiba who first increased the water attribute to 200 points. Increase the water attribute to 200 points, successfully activate the water attribute, and reach the elite Jonin level. The voice from the system came, emphasizing the level that Kusachiba has now reached. Kusachiba's current level has improved very quickly. It is estimated that for him, ordinary ninjas can kill at will. While the system activates attributes for Kusachiba, it also helps Kusachiba's body recover. Those fatigue points disappear, and the whole person becomes excited. Everyone, please pay attention, there is movement. Kusachiba was transforming attributes just now and did not pay attention to the surrounding situation, but now he heard something strange happening around him and warned. Kusataki immediately appeared around Kusachiba with his ninja sword in hand, shouting, "Come around me and protect the Lord together." Upon hearing this, everyone quickly gathered around. After all, Kusachiba is their backbone. Without him, everyone will lose their direction. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect Kusachiba from Kusanagi village to be so cautious, so all my efforts were wasted. A girl with a strange face appeared here, very tall. It looks more like a man than a woman, with a long tongue, similar to that of a snake. Who are you and why are you here? Kusataki asked aloud when he saw this strange woman. When Kusachiba saw this face, he immediately thought of the science geek, Orochimaru, the monster who could change his body for himself. I didn't expect it to be Orochimaru, why are you here? Kusachiba revealed Orochimaru's identity in one sentence, and everyone was stunned. How come Konoha's rebellious ninja appears here? This guy was kicked out of Konoha because he was doing research on living bodies. The Lord hates this kind of research, so he came to kill Danzo, but he still dares to show up. What? He is actually Orochimaru. Why would he appear here? It is incredible. What are the rebellious ninjas of Konoha doing here? Maybe he wants to join our Sao Ninja village, but this guy has a very bad reputation, and our Sao Ninja village can't have him. Kusachiba's men interrogated Orochimaru helplessly and kept guarding against him. Orochimaru, what are you doing here? Kusataki said, holding up his ninja sword. Although Orochimaru is the legendary Sannin, Kusataki's strength is not inferior to him now, so he is naturally confident. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that the legendary boss of Kusanagi village would be so timid and rely on his own men for protection. Orochimaru smiled cheekily, which was very helpless. Hearing Orochimaru's words, Kusachiba didn't take it to heart and said, there is no need to use the provocation method. Tell your purpose. I'm here to help you. If you kill Danzo, Konoha will definitely be furious. Think about your own fate. It will be hard to offend the great ninja village. Orochimaru said seductively. Kusachiba looked coldly and said, for me, strength is everything. I don't believe that Konoha will start a war with me over a dead person, and he is also an executioner. As soon as Kusachiba finished speaking, Orochimaru seemed to be at a loss for words and said, you are very powerful, but that doesn't mean you can ignore the great ninja village. Then tell me what should I do? Kusachiba said coldly, pretending to be confused. Cooperate with me and set up an organization that can compete with the great ninja village, and gather the exiled ninjas and the rebellious ninjas in the village, so that we can have the capital to dominate. Orochimaru said excitedly, drawing a pie for Kusachiba. Well, your idea is good, but I'm already implementing it, so I can only reject you. Kusachiba said jokingly. Hearing Kusachiba's words, Orochimaru showed a helpless expression and said, what, you are already doing it, who are there? Kusachiba pointed to Kusataki, Zabuza and others beside him, and said, see, these are my men. Kusataki, Mochi Zabuza, Haku. Orochimaru had a surprised expression on his face when he saw these people. They definitely formed a powerful ninja force. Very good, you are very good, Orochimaru said out loud, not just out of jealousy or other reasons. What, you have an opinion? Kusatake said, dissatisfied with Orochimaru. To be honest, since the last time he played against Hanzo, Kusatake has always felt that he is not inferior to these so-called masters, and that his strength should be higher. On the contrary, he is not as famous as a rebellious ninja like Orochimaru, which makes him very unhappy. Orochimaru, stop talking nonsense, or get out, or keep your dog head. Kusatake said unhappily, obviously disgusted with him. Orochimaru laughed strangely and said, Kusatake-kun's temper is really bad, it's incomprehensible. After saying that, Orochimaru suddenly took action, and two small snakes appeared at Kusatake's feet, biting at Kusatake's feet. Orochimaru, you actually acted so insidiously. Kusatake jumped up immediately, avoid those two little snakes. Who knew that the two little snakes actually jumped up together with Kusatake, following him like a shadow, which was very surprising. The two little snakes of Orochimaru look very strange to people, and they show their little fangs. If they are accidentally stung, they may lose their lives. Water-style shock wave, Kusatake shouted loudly, and saw a burst of rapid water rushing out of the ninja sword, hitting Orochimaru's two small snakes. Soon, the two little snakes were eroded and broken by the water flow. Orochimaru's eyes moved slightly when he saw Kusatake's strength. He didn't expect this to happen. It's amazing, but you can only go so far, Orochimaru said. Kusatake smiled and said, then let me see the strength of Orochimaru-sama, after all, he is the legendary Sannin. Giant snake, Orochimaru shouted. After saying that, a huge snake suddenly appeared and hit Kusatake's body. If an ordinary person was hit by this snake, he would be knocked directly into the distance and his body would be stunned. But Kusatake had already anticipated Orochimaru's killing move, so he immediately dodged and struck back with his sword, cutting the big snake into two pieces. Seeing this scene, Kusachiba's face was full of smiles. Kusatake's strength can be said to be quite good. He can directly compete with the legendary Sannin. There are even signs of being able to suppress him, which shows that the system did not lie to him. Orochimaru frowned slightly. Unexpectedly, he failed to take down Kusatake with both moves. This made him a little frustrated. After all, he was the legendary Sannin, the former master of Konoha degree. Orochimaru, you can also take my move, Kusatake said with a smile, quite impatient with Orochimaru. After saying that, Kusatake made another move with his ninja sword, and water-style attacked. Water-style super combo. I saw Kusatake's sword like a cannon, hitting Orochimaru with water bombs one after another. The water bomb moved very quickly, making it difficult to resist. Moreover, in the previous battle with Danzo, Kusatake's knife had been stained with corrosive poisonous gas. This water bomb was actually acidic and extremely corrosive. Orochimaru quickly dodged, but unfortunately his speed was still a bit slow. The corner of his clothes was accidentally stained, revealing a big hole, and the skin was also burned. Although this body is not Orochimaru's original one, it will be more difficult for him to find a suitable one. You dare to offend me like this? It seems you don't want to live anymore. Orochimaru couldn't help shouting, with a cold face. This time Kusatake had completely offended him. Killing intent emerged in his heart. Snake steps. Orochimaru looked cold and had murderous intentions. Soon, two huge snakes descended from the sky and attacked Kusatake from both sides, leaving him very passive. I didn't expect you to have this skill, but I'm not afraid of you, Kusatake said aloud. The ninja sword in his hand reappeared, and the water bombs continued to output. With a specific target this time, the two big snakes were covered with wounds from the water bombs. They kept scurrying in the air, their bodies were extremely twisted, and they looked very painful. It's amazing. I didn't expect that I couldn't kill you with this move. Kusatake, you are indeed a good opponent, Orochimaru said calmly, but now he has lost the arrogance he had just now. Orochimaru, I think you are very ordinary. The legendary Sannin is nothing more than that. Kusatake looked calm and relaxed. Oh, is it true? Orochimaru approached Kusatake with a smile on his face and said. Kusatake didn't pay attention, thinking that Orochimaru had no other tricks, but a smile appeared on his face. I think it's very ordinary. Latent shadow snake limbs. Orochimaru shouted loudly, and dozens of snakes flew out from Orochimaru's cuffs, and suddenly attacked Kusatake due to his negligence. All these snakes gathered on Kusatake's body. Soon, the snakes bit the grass dragon. This group of snakes are quite commanding, and they can cooperate with each other to intimidate Kusatake, which surprised Kusachiba. Kusatake was in a panic and was extremely embarrassed. Of course, Kusachiba would not let Kusatake be in such a dilemma. He immediately formed a seal with one hand and sprayed flames towards the community on Kusatake. Fire style. Great fireball. A great fireball began to burn on the group of snakes, and the group of snakes soon fell from Kusatake's body, all of them dead. Seeing this scene, Orochimaru looked shocked. What he wanted to do now was to escape. After all, it was very difficult for him to have just one Kusatake, let alone another one. Sir, if you ask me to fight him again, I don't believe I can't defeat him. Kusatake said, showing his determination. I know you can take him down, but it's a waste of time. We have to rush back to the grass ninja village. I always have an uneasy feeling. Kusachiba said. After hearing Kusachiba's words, Kusatake could only express his obedience. After all, Kusachiba was the leader of their group and they must respect him. The ninja sword in Kusachiba's hand appeared and he said to Orochimaru, I have long heard that Sannin is powerful. When I saw it today, it is indeed well deserved. However, I will not give you a chance to take action again. After saying that, Kusachiba teleported to Orochimaru. Before Orochimaru could speak, he was hit in the stomach by Yuya Shili. Orochimaru quickly used snakes to die on his behalf, but the Kusachiba sword was attached to the wind-style chakra, and the snakes were cut like vegetation. Quote. It's so powerful. It's really unbelievable that the leader's chakra is so powerful. Kusatake sighed. Although the sword cut in vain, Kusachiba's movements did not stop. He has reached the highest level of physical skills at present, which is more than enough to deal with Orochimaru. He kicked Orochimaru in the abdomen, and Orochimaru rolled out like a winter melon. His whole body immediately split into two halves, making him very embarrassed. But Orochimaru suddenly split a huge snake body from the middle of his body, and stabbed Kusachiba with a sword in his mouth. It's interesting. He didn't forget to fight back when he was in a desperate situation. It's admirable. Kusachiba admired, but Kusachiba would not be such a goaty. Soon, Kusachiba flew into the air, came to the upper part of the snake's body, and slashed towards the snake's body with a sword, leaving only a head. Orochimaru's body was destroyed by Kusachiba, and unless he finds another body, he is extremely weak now. But how could Kusachiba give him a chance? Kusachiba's ninja sword fell in front of Orochimaru, and a cold air came from it, and he looked shocked. Orochimaru, do you obey me and choose life or death? Kusachiba put the ninja sword in front of Orochimaru and forced him. Orochimaru felt the coldness on the sword and said, okay, I choose to surrender. Okay, I guess you know the truth. Kusachiba said with a smile. Orochimaru is a ninjutsu genius. He has developed many ninjutsu, and with him in hand, you can do many interesting things with the help of his whims. Okay, I will seal you first and then take you away. Kusachiba said. Orochimaru had no choice. He was under the roof and had to bow his head. He had no choice but to do this. Seeing Kusachiba personally beating Orochimaru to such a state of embarrassment, Kusatake and others were even more shocked by his strength. Although this was not the first time they saw Kusachiba take action, they were still shocked to the core. Orochimaru was brought back to the grass ninja village. Although he only had one head, his strength should not be underestimated. After all, he was also the legendary Sannin. Hey, Orochimaru, wake up quickly, I have something to ask you. Kusachiba unsealed Orochimaru and allowed him to recover. Orochimaru opened his yellow snake eyes, his face full of surprise, he looked so embarrassed. I didn't expect that I was brought back by you. Since I was defeated in your hands, I will surrender to you. Orochimaru said aloud, with a look of helplessness on his face. Kusachiba was very satisfied when he heard this, and said with a smile on his face, since you want to be my subordinate, then behave well. You recover first, and I will come back to you in a few days. Putting down Orochimaru's head, Orochimaru recovered there. Kusachiba put restraints on his body, not afraid of anything happening to him. After saying that, Kusachiba walked out. Nagato and Yahiko were waiting for him outside. Konan recovered well. Tsunade heard about the conflict between Konoha and Kusanagi village, and was afraid of causing a war between the two sides. He planned to go to Konoha village to persuade, so he did not stay. Nagato, do you want to stay in the grass ninja village? Kusachiba asked directly. After all, he has a favor with Nagato now. Besides, Nagato has the Rinnegan, which is a big killer. Once used properly, it can become his absolute assistant. Nagato was very excited when he heard what Kusachiba said, and said, Kusachiba-sama, although I rejected your proposal to me before, I have recently contacted you. I think you are a person who can be followed. Our Akatsuki organization is too weak. We must have a powerful person to lead us. I think you are very suitable. Before Nagato finished speaking, Yahiko immediately interjected. In the early days of the Akatsuki organization, it was established based on Yahiko's wish. He longed for world peace so that ninja villages could eliminate barriers and live in harmony. It was only later that he was killed by Hanzo of the Salamander, which caused Nagato's darkening, and caused such a group of innocent teenagers to degenerate, no longer believing that there is still light in this world. Okay, since you believe in me, then I will lead you to create a bright world for ninjas. Kusachiba said solemnly, with hope in his eyes. After hearing Kusachiba's words, everyone was very happy. They had found an adult they could rely on, followed his footsteps, followed his figure, and embraced the future. Okay, don't stay here, come with me, and let's discuss our future plans. Kusachiba said knowingly, trying to break the gap between them. Kusataki followed Kusachiba towards the studio of Kusanagi village. Ever since Kusachiba became Kusage, the forces between the great powers have become so different. After all, apart from the 5 major countries, only 1 or 2 small ninja villages in the world have shadows. Now that the strongest person in the grass ninja village calls himself a shadow, it will definitely break the balance of forces. The grass ninja village is close to Konoha. This great ninja village in the land of fire will naturally make Konoha feel uneasy. But Konoha does not dare to start a war at will. After all, Day is famous for peace. From now on, when everyone goes out, call Kusachiba-sama Kusage, and don't call him Kusachiba-sama anymore. Kusataki said aloud, pretending to be his suggestion. In fact, Kusachiba had wanted to ask this question for a long time, but he just said it to Kusataki by chance. Kusataki was smart enough to see Kusachiba's intention at once and agreed quickly. Okay, Master Kusukage, everyone said in unison, surpassing Kusachiba and said, surrendering to him. A satisfied smile appeared on Kusachiba's face. Although he didn't care much about this false name, if he went out to act in the future, if he still called him Kusachiba, it would be inappropriate. Kusakage-sama, why did you call us here? Zabuza said in confusion. He felt strange when he heard Kusachiba being called Kusage. Okay, what I want to say is actually very simple. Everyone is from a small ninja village. They have been cannon fodder or have been exterminated by others. Now I want to lead everyone to defeat those people and expand our strength at the same time. Only BDCC is strong, only when you speak will people listen. Kusachiba said slowly, making his purpose clear. After hearing what Kusachiba said, most of them agreed, especially Yahiko and Nagato. They had a better understanding of the difficulties of a weak force and kept nodding in agreement. Sir, please tell me directly, what do you want us to do? Kusataki is very direct, and he is absolutely obedient to Kusachiba. Kusachiba smiled slightly and said, I want to set up a special organization to help us eradicate our enemies and cultivate masters in our Kusanagi village. Hearing Kusachiba's words, everyone's faces flashed with excitement. Zabuza was also very excited. The days of being a wandering ninja were too hard. If he had such a strong backing, he would be afraid of what those great ninja villages would do. Okay, sir, you can just give the order. Momochi Zabuza said, obviously very excited. Yahiko and Nagato formed an organization before, but it was too weak. This time we will use Kusanagi village as a base to establish our own organization. When Momochi Zabuza and others heard this, they wanted to raise their hands in agreement, but Shiro, who was not very talkative, said, Then what is the name of our organization? As soon as Bai finished speaking, everyone's eyes were focused on Kusachiba. After all, he was the backbone of everyone and he had to make the decision on all issues. Previously Nagato's organization was called Akatsuki. I think we can add another word to his name. Let's call it Dawn Organization. How about it? Kusachiba said aloud, asking for everyone's opinions. Dawn Organization, what do you mean? Everyone didn't quite understand what he meant and asked aloud. Dawn comes from the ancient East. It means the period of time before dawn, when the sky is about to get dark. It is used to symbolize dawn. We can bring dawn to this gray world, Kusachiba said. Hearing Kusachiba's explanation, everyone was surprised, especially Nagato. Dawn, then are we the hope to cut off this broken world and the light to illuminate the world? Kusachiba heard Nagato's words and felt that he was very wise and said, you are very smart. As a result, the Dawn Organization, the most famous organization in the ninja world, was established today. In the future, it will become famous in the world, and its reputation will be conveyed to every country. The Dawn Organization must have its own backbone of strength. Kusachiba looked at the people in front of him. All of them were at the top level among Jonin, and some were even infinitely close to the cage level. Which people should I choose to be my backbone? It's troublesome to have too many talents. Kusachiba couldn't help but said with a headache. After careful selection, Kusachiba finally made up his mind and announced it to his subordinates. Kusatake, Nagato, Yahiko, Zabuza, and Haku, from today on, you are the 5 backbones of the Dawn Organization. I now call you the 5 of Dawn. When they heard that they had become one of the Dawn 5, Kusatake and others were even more excited. This was an honor. Lord Kusachiba trusted them, which made them feel warm in their hearts. We are willing to follow you, show up for you, and fight for the future of the Dawn Organization. The 5 people said in unison, very impressive. Kusachiba was naturally very happy and said, okay, that's it for today, Nagato stays. When Nagato heard this, he looked doubtful, wondering if Kusachiba would suddenly leave him. Master Kusage, what's the matter with you leaving me alone? Nagato asked aloud. It's very simple. I want to improve your strength and help me. Kusachiba said, very relaxed. After hearing Kusachiba's words, Nagato said, Sir, I still have room for improvement. I feel that my strength is about this. Hearing Nagato's words, Kusachiba smiled and said, Nagato, you are the one with the greatest potential among the Dawn 5. Believe me, your future will be bright. Hearing Kusachiba's words, Nagato looked surprised and said quickly, thank you, Kusage-sama, please help me improve my strength. Nagato's Rinnegan needs to be activated passively, unless a relative or friend dies. This is the convention for powerful pupil techniques in the Hokage world. Kusachiba also looked hesitant. Could he still kill Yahiko? Thinking about it, he thought this idea was crazy and quickly threw it away. Actually, you have an advantage that others cannot have, and that is Rinnegan. Kusachiba said to Nagato, hoping that he would understand the limits of his blood inheritance. What Rinnegan, what is that? Nagato looked surprised, obviously not understanding the meaning of Kusachiba's words. You have the blood inheritance limit, just like Shiro, you can activate your own Rinnegan. Now I will teach you a method, can you try to activate it? Kusachiba said. In what way? Nagato was also surprised. Hearing that he actually had the blood inheritance limit, he was excited at first, and then worried. He was afraid that his failure would cause Kusachiba to be disappointed. He lowered his head like a child who made a mistake and said, Kusachiba-sama, I am afraid that I will disappoint you. What disappoints me most is that you declare failure without trying. Kusachiba encouraged Nagato and asked him to give it a try. After hearing Kusachiba's encouragement, Nagato immediately regained his confidence and said, okay, I'll try it right away. Please help me. Kusachiba's idea is to open a fantasy world by himself, let Nagato go deep into it, and recreate the scene of Conan being captured that night to see if he can open the Rinnegan. Nagato trusted Kusachiba so much that he decided to try his method and said, please perform the illusion for me, sir. I will not let you down. Hearing Nagato's words, Kusachiba did not stop and immediately set up an illusion to let Nagato enter and prepare to start breaking through the level. Kusachiba reenacted the scene of the previous life in order to let Nagato experience it again, awaken his power, and obtain the Rinnegan. Nagato said that it can start now and let Kusachiba take action, he is not afraid. Kusachiba let Nagato enter the fantasy world, and he clicked on the system panel. When he saw that he still had a mysterious reward package that he had not received, he naturally clicked on it. Kusachiba controlled himself to press the downward arrow, and a roulette wheel suddenly appeared with 8 mysterious packages on it for Kusachiba to choose. Kusachiba didn't know what this mysterious reward was, so he turned around casually with the mentality of giving it a try. The pointer of the roulette wheel began to rotate, crossing the 8 mysterious packages, and the downward arrow kept rotating. Finally, the pointer turned slower and slower, and finally stopped on a red package, which was quite surprising. Kusachiba took the opportunity to open the package, and a knife-style sword came out. Kusachiba, who is familiar with various Hokage weapons, could tell the origin of this weapon at a glance. This weapon was the sacred pheasant sword that Hokage Commander Suke later used, but he didn't expect it to appear in his reward. According to the plot of Hokage, this sword was later acquired by Sasuke and became his weapon. This Kusanagi sword belonged to Orochimaru and was given to Sasuke later. Thinking of a certain possibility, Kusachiba couldn't help but smile. It felt a bit fake. After all, the arrival of Kusachiba is a variable in this Hokage world. It seems that this grass pheasant sword was given to him by God. Kusachiba didn't think much about it. He held the pheasant sword in his hand and smiled slightly. He thought it was very magical. From then on, he was also the owner of the magical weapon. Kusachiba waved twice, and he became fierce. Coupled with his super strong physical skills, I am afraid it will make him much stronger. After playing with it, Kusachiba put away the grass pheasant sword and looked towards Nagato. At this moment, Nagato had cold sweat on his forehead, and his whole body was tense, as if he was experiencing a scene of life and death. Kusachiba knew that Nagato was entering the most tense moment and could not disturb him, so he waited for Nagato to recover. Nagato's scene didn't last long, and he soon recovered. At this moment, Nagato's face was pale, and there were blood stains flowing from the corners of his mouth, but his eyes were already open. Those purple-circled eyes opened on Nagato at this moment, which made Kusachiba extremely excited. What he wanted finally appeared. Okay, Nagato, your body is almost exhausted now. Go back and rest first, and then consider the use of these eyes tomorrow. Kusachiba said with concern. Kusachiba's words made Nagato feel warm in his heart. He supported his body and said, "Thank you, Mr. Kusage. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have known that I could have such a powerful power. Okay, don't talk anymore. You go back and stay for now. We can talk about the rest later," Kusachiba said, telling him not to speak. After hearing Kusachiba's words, Nagato said nothing else and waited for Konan and Yahiko to come in and helped him to his residence. Seeing Nagato's weak appearance, Konan and Yahiko were surprised. They didn't know what happened just now, but Nagato didn't even have the slightest bit of strength to let them take him away. Kusachiba's prestige has been established, and Konan and Yahiko did not dare to question him, so they could only walk away full of doubts. After they left, Kusachiba walked out of the Hokage studio and looked at the scenery in the distance. He was getting closer and closer to the world, and he also wanted to lead the Sonoha village to a bright future through his own abilities. This is his vision. Life is so wonderful and unpredictable. Chapter 111. What? Kusachiba from Kusanagi village actually calls himself a Hokage. This is unforgivable. Yes, they are our vassals of Konoha. A small ninja village dares to call themselves Hokage, so they must be punished. This must be punished severely and they must pay the price they deserve. Voices appeared in the Hokage rooms throughout Konoha. Everyone's intention was that the grass ninja village must be punished severely, and there was no second option. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at everyone and looked towards Namikaze Minato to see that this golden flash of Konoha is now a strong competitor of the fourth Hokage. His disciple ran away and wandered, but he did not expect that he would pop up. "Minato, what do you think?" Sarutobi Hiruzen asked. This is Sarutobi Minato training him, wanting to make him familiar with Hokage affairs as soon as possible. After all, in the future, we'll still need him to compete with the grass ninja village. Yes, Kusanagi village was originally our vassal. If they were allowed to dominate, those small villages that surrendered to us would definitely have different intentions and must be severely punished. Namikaze Minato said seriously. Although in the Hokage world, Namikaze Minato is portrayed as a peace-loving ninja, he will still take action when Konoha's interests are touched. But we can't do it ourselves. Firstly, we have lost a lot of manpower now. We need to recuperate now. Furthermore, it will take time to rebuild Anbu, so we can send other ninja villages to fight for us. Namikaze Minato said, seeming to have already found a candidate. Minato, your opinion is very good, do you have a candidate? Sarutobi Hiruzen said. Yes, when I was on a mission before, I met several masters. They are wandering ninjas from the destroyed Beast Ninja Village. We can hire them to fight for us. At this time, a Jonin came out from the side and said. Okay, contact them and ask them to do it immediately. Sarutobi Hiruzen ordered, his tone was very firm. After hearing what Sarutobi Hiruzen said, everyone took action and prepared to attack the Kusanagi village. In Kusaku Ninja Village, Kusachiba began to train with his subordinates to check the strength of his subordinates. Kusataki's strength can be roughly estimated by Kusachiba. He is at a level above Sanin and is a master close to Kage level. Zabuza and you are also far above Jonin's level. The weaker ones now are Nagato and Yahiko. After all, their strength is not outstanding. But Nagato has Rinnegan, who indeed has the most potential among the five. There is no guarantee that he can become a world-class master. What, Rinnegan, is so magical? Compared with the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan, which one is more powerful? That's right, how did you open your eyes? I heard that the Uchiha clan needs to kill their own relatives to open their eyes. What about yours? Kusataki and others gathered around Nagato, chattering and discussing their matters intensely. On the contrary, Nagato looked helpless, which made him feel a little embarrassed. Maybe he was too enthusiastic, but it made Nagato quite uncomfortable. At this time, there were huge explosions in the village. Seeing the rising smoke, Kusachiba felt that something was wrong and said, "Follow me," and prepared to meet the enemy. With a swishing sound, everyone followed Kusachiba towards the distance, moving very quickly. Sure enough, someone came to attack our grass ninja village. They are really brave. That's right, don't you know how powerful our grass ninja village is? Seeing the group of ninjas causing harm, Kusachiba said out loud, they are actually ninjas from the Beast Ninja Village. Beast Ninja Village, isn't this village destroyed? Why is it still here? Nagato said aloud. Hearing Nagato's words, Kusachiba explained, they are wandering ninjas, and they must be doing things with bounties. It seems that someone hired them. These people smashed and killed the people of our grass ninja village. Conan, you and the other ninjas are responsible for evacuating the people. The others followed me to deal with this group of wandering ninjas from the Beast Ninja Village. Kusachiba took the lead to rush to the battlefield, followed by Kusataki and the others. Ha ha ha, those from the grass ninja village are here, and we are going to go on a killing spree today. A small ninja village actually calls itself a fool. Who gave you the courage? Brothers, stop being idle and let them know how powerful our Beast Ninja Village is. Kusachiba was the fastest and first came into contact with this group of people. A stout guy with tiger stripes on his face looked at Kusachiba and said, "You are the shadow of Kusanagi village, the unreliable guy. Whoever overestimates his own abilities can give it a try," Kusachiba said aloud. Hearing Kusachiba's words, the tiger-striped man laughed wildly and wildly. "Boy, if you have the guts, I'll show you how powerful I am right now." After saying that, the tiger-striped man quickly took action and headed towards Kusachiba. The limit of blood inheritance tiger roaring cannon. The tiger-striped man's mouth quickly enlarged, then sucked in a large amount of air, turned into a huge compression pump, and released it towards the blades of grass. Just a roar was heard, and the tiger howl cannon compressed the air very quickly, giving people a feeling of expansion, and quickly hit Kusachiba. The tiger howling cannon evacuated all the surrounding air into a vacuum, and the trees were shattered by the aftershock of the tiger howling cannon, which was full of power. Kusachiba immediately turned around and dodged. The power of the tiger roaring cannon was too strong, and he did not dare to take action directly. Ha ha ha, you dare to call yourself a shadow at this level? I think I can be considered a shadow, rubbish. The tiger-striped man laughed loudly. Shinbei, don't be careless, he is on the same level as Golden Flash, a warning sounded. Kusachiba followed the sound and saw that it was a man who had turned into an elephant man. He was extremely tall and was sweeping the streets of Kusanagi village. Seeing this scene, Kusachiba was extremely angry. These guys were so arrogant. They must know how powerful they are. Kusachiba flashed in front of Yukibei, and a Kusanagi sword appeared in his hand. It was extremely sharp and stabbed toward Yukibei's stomach with a sound of breaking through the air. Yukibei's face felt nervous, and he quickly stretched out his tiger claws to block Kusachiba's Kusanagi sword. However, the Kusanagi sword was too sharp, and coupled with the chakra attached to the wind attribute, it cut off a pair of tiger claws from Yukibei in an instant, leaving his hands bloody. Kobe screamed in pain, but before he could call his companions, Kusachiba sealed his throat with a sword, blood flowed from his neck, and he fell to the ground. One of the 6 ninjas of the Beast Ninja Village, the Tiger Ninja, died at the hands of Kusachiba. Seeing this scene, the Elephant Ninja who was still destroying the Grass Ninja Village immediately turned red and ran towards Kusachiba. Killing his companion was worse than taking his life. This was the companion he got along with day and night. He was anxious. It's really surprising how powerful Kusachiba-sama is. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen him fight. I didn't know he fought so bravely. That was one of the 6 ninjas of the Beast Ninja Village, and he was killed so easily. Nagato looked shocked. These 6 ninjas can be said to be very powerful, even among the wandering ninjas, they are among the top fighters. However, he did not expect Kusachiba to kill him so easily. Indeed, Kusachiba is very powerful, worthy of being a Kusage. Kusachiba, you killed Kobe, you die for me now. The elephant ninja shouted sadly, while sweeping his nose across. When Kusachiba saw the huge nose, he was very strong, but Kusachiba's physical skills were at the top level now, so he decided to challenge him head-on. Soon, Kusachiba wielded his sword and struck at the elephant's trunk. As soon as the sword came into contact with the elephant's trunk, there was a golden sound. The elephant's trunk was as hard as metal. You are very powerful. Kusachiba said these words, and actually did not fall behind in a head-on physical confrontation. But the elephant ninja no longer gave Kusachiba a chance to speak. He waved his nose towards Kusachiba and shouted at the same time, blood succession limit, elephant whip whirlwind. Soon, the elephant nin rolled his nose and rolled up in the air quickly. The air in the surrounding space was quickly evacuated, which caused disaster to those houses. There was no building within a dozen meters, and they were all razed to the ground. Seeing this scene, Kusachiba was surprised by the ability of the object ninja, and said loudly, "It's very powerful, but if you only have this move, you can't defeat me." Now this elephant ninja is in a state of madness, and it seems that he must defeat Kusachiba before he can stop. Kusachiba was surprised when he saw this scene and said, "It's really amazing." Soon, a tornado appeared here and headed towards Kusachiba. If it was hit by him, it would definitely be passive. But the elephant ninja was very cautious. He saw Kusachiba's movement and was observing the attack. The blood inheritance limit, the elephant gravity space. The elephant ninja shouted loudly. Just as Kusachiba was about to move, he suddenly felt his feet sink and he was unable to move at all. Gravity instantly strengthened. Kusachiba saw a cunning expression flash across the face of the elephant ninja, and knew that this was the fault of the elephant ninja. He quickly waved the grass pheasant sword, hoping to use wind style to leave. Kusachiba, stop struggling to your death. My gravity space is very powerful. Most people cannot leave it and can only wait to die. It doesn't matter if you have other cage level cultivations. If you encounter the gravity space, you will just wait for death. That's right. Even if our Shangren boss is capable, dying in the hands of our boss will be considered an advantage for you. Kusakage-sama, let me rescue you. Kusatake saw this scene and quickly stepped forward to rescue Kusachiba. But Kusatake was blocked by a deer-headed ninja, and he laughed and said, "Boy, your opponent is me, where are you running? You dare to invade our Kusanagi village. This is our last paradise. Go to hell." Kusatake suddenly exploded, and the ninja sword in his hand suddenly became fierce and stabbed towards the deer-headed ninja. "Why, you have to fight to the death. Now let me tell you how cruel this world is." the deer-headed ninja said with a proud look on his face. But Kusatake suddenly formed a seal with one hand, and a water dragon appeared behind the deer-headed ninja and attacked him. The Reuter ninja felt a chill on his back, and was about to turn his head to look, but when he met the powerful water dragon, two antler-like daggers appeared in his hands, trying to hold the water dragon back. But the water dragon's attack was too fierce, with strong force and water attribute chakra, it was impossible to resist. Go to hell. Emergency. Kusachiba's Kusatake killed the deer ninja with a ninja sword. The deer ninja resisted the water dragon with all his strength, but was stabbed in the back, which left him heartbroken and helpless. But Kusatake left in an instant, and the water dragon drowned the deer ninja who had lost his resistance, and he was immediately seriously injured and on the verge of death. It's amazing. These were Lu Ren's last words in the world. But now, Kusachiba has long been familiar with the gravity space and can form seals with one hand. Although he cannot use teleportation, he can use ninjutsu. Why doesn't that tornado go up? The elephant ninja couldn't help but said. In his plan, as long as the flying tornado could hit Kusachiba who was trapped on the ground, it would definitely be over. But Kusachiba didn't seem to intend to die here, and said loudly, water-style water dragon technique. Soon, a circular blue water prison appeared next to Kusachiba, blocking the tornado. At the same time, Kusachiba was trying to break the influence of this gravitational space on himself. When the elephant ninja saw this scene, he sighed in his heart and said, "This guy does have some ninjutsu skills. An ordinary person would definitely be finished under my move, but he can struggle for so long. Kusachiba, stop resisting needlessly and just accept your fate." The elephant ninja suddenly came to Kusachiba, condensed his nose into a whip shape, and hit Kusachiba. Seeing this scene, Kusachiba hurriedly performed another water style and shouted, "Water style mirror water prison technique." The same blue ring-shaped water prison appeared next to Shang Nin, trapping him inside. This kind of powerful ninjutsu should consume a lot of chakra. Why has this guy been doing nothing for so long? Is it possible that his chakra is just that much? The elephant ninja is now pale. He needs a lot of chakra to support the gravity space, but he can't maintain it. He can only feel that the chakra in his body is gradually being overdrawn. At this moment, Kusachiba felt that the gravity space was loose. In a moment, he regained his freedom, and immediately separated three shadow clone, appearing outside the mirror water prison. Wind style, super powerful shuriken. The three shadow clone attacked the elephant ninja in the water prison. It's a pity that the elephant ninja has been trapped inside, and his body is very sleepy at the moment, without chakra to support it. This super powerful shuriken was extremely powerful, making a buzzing sound as it broke through the air. It pushed through the water prison and hit the elephant ninja hard. The cells all over the body of the elephant ninja began to be decomposed by the tiny wind style, and his whole body was hit by the shuriken. The friction between the shuriken and the air was non-stop, making people's eardrums hurt. Kusatake, who arrived here shortly, looked surprised when he saw this scene, and shouted, "Kusachiba-sama is amazing. Only he can use such a powerful ninjutsu." After a while, the elephant fell from the sky and died. Kusachiba completely lost the comfort under his feet and broke through his water prison in one go. Facing the small tornado, he broke through it with a single blow of his sword. Seeing Kusachiba defeat the elephant ninja, other ninjas in the beast ninja village looked at it with fear on their faces. The elephant ninja was already one of the strongest among their group, and now that even he was killed by Kusachiba, the remaining people naturally thought about retreating for a long time. "Kusatake, don't hesitate, kill them all, don't leave any alive," Kusachiba said coldly. After the destruction of the Beast Ninja Village, the ninjas in the Beast Ninja Village became wandering ninjas, living by taking on some tasks. But they are quite ruthless, often doing inhumane things and taking pleasure in killing people. Their reputation is very bad. The tiger ninja who was killed by Kusachiba just now belongs to this category and is very disgusting, so the blades of grass will definitely not leave them alive. Kusatake obeyed and immediately attacked the remaining Sannin, leaving no chance for them to breathe. "We have to explain here now and retreat quickly," said a ninja who transformed into a snake body. He is the legendary snake ninja. It is said that this guy has the blood of the snake spirit and can summon all kinds of big snakes to help him and kill his opponents. This group of ninjas from the Grass Ninja Village are too powerful, completely beyond our expectations. That information from Konoha must be false. The snake ninja cursed with resentment, with an angry look on his face. But the lion ninja who was with him also felt extremely unlucky. This Kusachiba was too powerful, far beyond their imagination. Kusachiba flashed in front of the lion ninja and stabbed quickly with the Kusanagi sword in his hand. The lion ninja just felt a bright light in front of his eyes. Before he could make any sound, the Kusanagi sword penetrated his throat. He fell heavily to the ground and died quietly. Seeing this scene, the snake ninja was also frightened. He didn't expect Kusachiba to be so fast. It was unexpected. Dancing snakes. The snake ninja used his special ninjutsu, and a big snake appeared in front of Kusachiba. Two big snakes rose up in the air and attacked Kusachiba from a flank. The ferocious snake heads spit out letters and swallowed them. "You evil beast, you dare!" Kusachiba shouted loudly when he saw the provocative breath of the big snake. Kusachiba, who was resting in midair, swung his pheasant sword twice, just like chopping melons and vegetables. Two huge snake heads fell down, and the two big snakes died on the spot. "It's so powerful, run away quickly." This was the snake ninja's only thought. He didn't have any belief in fighting Kusachiba at this moment, and he was scared to death. Kusachiba seemed to see the purpose of the snake ninja and quickly ran in his direction. Now Kusachiba's teleportation was comparable to the golden flash of Konoha, so catching up with the snake ninja was a piece of cake. Seeing the sudden appearance of Kusachiba, the snake ninja looked frightened, and immediately formed his tongue and spit out a ball of rancid-smelling liquid towards Kusachiba's face, which exuded a suffocating smell. "This is venom." Kusachiba didn't dare to directly attack, so he threw out a shadow clone to face the venom for him. Kusachiba's true form came behind the snake ninja and pierced his heart with a sword. The snake ninja had no time to transform into his true form and fell straight down without even a scream. Who is this Kusachiba? Why he has such a powerful power is really unimaginable. The only remaining fox ninja said at this moment. The fox ninja is famous for her beauty and beauty. She has thousands of faces. The most powerful thing is her illusion. Once she gets deep into it, she will die suddenly. Foxes are famous for their charm skills, and their illusions are often dominated by lust. Once they are addicted to it and cannot extricate themselves, what awaits their opponents is often to be slaughtered by others. It's a pity that the fox ninja fought for a while just now. It was very helpless to see that Kusachiba's side was too strong and chose to be patient. We must find this fox nin quickly, otherwise we will never have a peaceful life. Kusachiba said aloud. Kusataki realized the importance of this matter. Once the fox ninja disguised himself as a resident of Kusunin village would probably fall into chaos. Kusachiba turns on Sage Mode and prepares to find the legendary fox ninja. Sage Mode can sense the power of nature and can also feel the chakra on other ninjas. The difference between ordinary people and ninjas is whether they have chakra, so using Sage Mode to find fox ninjas is the most correct decision. Soon, Kusachiba felt a chakra that did not belong to Kusanagi village in a corner shop. There are many residents who have been transported to this store for refuge. We must release them all before we can hunt down the fox ninja. Kusachiba secretly scolded the fox ninja for being cunning. She hid herself in a crowded place, which was not good. Caught her. Everyone, get ready for me. I'm going to kill the fox ninja myself soon. Kusachiba said his plan. Kusataki, go and announce my order, saying that the danger has been lifted, and please come back to tidy up the streets and restore daily work order. Kusachiba glanced at Kusataki. Kusataki understood and came to the street and shouted loudly, "Everyone, the village is safe. Please go back to your homes and prepare for dinner." Hearing Kusataki's words, the residents of Kusunin village cheered. It was great. Now they were safe and no longer had to hide around. But Kusachiba turned on Sage Mode and immediately locked onto the fox ninja and found her location. The fox ninja mingled with the crowd and wanted to escape from the grass ninja village with the crowd, but in Kusachiba's eyes, the blue chakra flowing on her body was a trace of energy bar. How could she let her leave so easily? "Uncle, I think you performed very well just now. I want to reward you. Come with me to the Kusage studio." Kusachiba held the Kusanagi sword in front of the ninja village residents pretending to be foxes. The fox ninja still doesn't know that she has been discovered, so she pretends to be scared and says, Kusachiba-sama, I still have something to do at home. If you have anything to say, just tell me. Yes, there is nothing else, I just want to discuss it with you. The rest is nothing. Kusachiba still held his sword in front of the fox ninja and refused to remove it. Kusachiba, you are awesome, blood succession limit, fox sniffing technique. The fox ninja shouted loudly, and a huge smell came from the fox ninja, which immediately stunned the residents of the surrounding grass ninja village. You can't compete with a weasel, but trying to escape from me is just a fool's dream. Kusachiba looked at the fox ninja who was running away quickly, with a sneer on his lips. Kusachiba teleported to the fox ninja. Although the fox ninja used the secret escape technique unique to the beast ninja village, he was still unable to match Yi's speed. In a flash, Kusachiba appeared next to the fox ninja. The fox ninja was shocked. She stopped in her tracks and said in surprise, how can you be right? But what she responded to was Kusachiba's swift and powerful sword, which killed her and destroyed her. The fox ninja died, and the entire beast ninja village who attacked the grass ninja village was wiped out, and the battle ended. Kusatake had a look of joy on his face. This was the first time the Dawn organization had gone out and achieved such a great victory. It would definitely be big news if word spread. Kusachiba-sama, I'm afraid your name will spread again this time, and Kusanagi village will become famous. Kusatake ran over and said excitedly. Kusachiba, however, had an indifferent expression and said, a small beast ninja village makes you so happy, and it has no future. The silly Kusatake is very happy. It is definitely every ninja's wish to follow such a wise adult. Kusachiba didn't know Kusatake's thoughts, but he was very anxious to go back. The damage caused to the beast ninja village this time was not small, and a lot of money was needed. It's a pity that grass ninja village is a small ninja village after all. It doesn't have that much money, so I need to go out to enjoy the autumn breeze. Arriving at the Hokage room, a woman with a dark face was waiting for Kusachiba. The woman was wearing an orange dress, tall and beautiful. The most amazing thing was her plump breasts, which seemed to be no less than Konoha Tsunade. Kanako, what are you doing here? Kusatake asked in surprise. After all, this Kanako usually didn't bother to deal with them. Master Kusage, the entire Kusage ninja village is in chaos now, and we need your help, but we have no money. Kanako said eagerly, face helpless. Kusachiba was worried when he heard that there was no money in the village. He quickly calmed Kanako's mood and said, don't worry, I will raise money right away, and it will be there by evening. Really, Lord Kusachiba? Kanako looked surprised when she heard Kusachiba's words. Really? Kusachiba said weakly. Okay, I'll tell everyone right away. Kanako walked out immediately. Kusatake looked surprised at this time and asked Kusachiba, Sir, where did we get the money? Don't shout, I must have other channels to say this. You will act together with me later. We will ask Konoha for the money. Kusachiba said bitterly. Konoha, they actually sent beast ninjas to destroy the grass ninja village. They must leave them an unforgettable lesson this time. I guess the news should be spread back to Konoha by now. Let's move quickly to intercept and kill those Konoha ninjas. Kusachiba said aloud. Kusatake BDCG understood Kusachiba's plan at once. He was going to do a human life business and kidnap Konoha's ninjas. Thinking of Kusachiba's last kidnapping of Tsunade, Kusatake wondered if he was a kidnapper. So skilled. Of course, Kusatake didn't dare to ask in person, except that he didn't want to kill himself. In this operation, Kusachiba only took Kusatake alone, and the other personnel asked them to guard Kusanoin village. The two people moved very quickly and arrived at the border between Konoha and Kusanagi village. As expected, there were still Konoha shinobi who had not yet evacuated. One of them turned out to be young Asuma, and it was great to think that the son of the Hokage was here. It's really a gift from God. Now I can ask for a large ransom for kidnapping him. Kusachiba said excitedly. Soon, Kusachiba surrounded the group, of course not wearing a mask. Konoha and Kusanagi haven't openly quarreled with each other yet, so some situations still have to be taken into consideration. Get them. Okay, sir. Kusachiba and Kusatake attacked the ninjas in Konoha village. These ninjas were not high level and average in strength. You are so bold. You actually dare to attack our Konoha. Aren't you afraid of our Konoha village's revenge? That's right, we in Konoha will scare you to death. Kusatake said with a cold voice. I'm afraid that you Konoha-ju won't take action. At this point, who is still afraid of whom? Kusatake was very single, and the Chunin sword appeared in his hand, and he equipped with various ninja tools and started fighting. Seeing that Konoha's reputation could not scare the opponent, these Konoha ninjas had no choice but to take action themselves. Fire style Great Fireball Technique. Water style Water Dragon Technique. Earth style Earth Wall Technique. Ninjutsu was released one after another, and the shaped fireball came towards the face, followed by a water dragon and the wall that blocked Kusatake's attack. This group of Konoha shinobi are very familiar with group combat, but Kusachiba has long been far beyond their level, and killing them is like holding a diamond in their hand. In a blink of an eye, Kusachiba came to the guy who was using the Great Fireball Technique. He was actually wearing clothes with the emblem of the Uchiha clan, and only opened a single Magatama Rinnegan. History seems to be low. Kusachiba stabbed him in the abdomen. This member of Uchiha had quick eyesight and quick hands. A kunai appeared in his hand and blocked Kusachiba's attack. But Kusachiba had already predicted his retreat position, and the grass pheasant sword had already been waiting there to ambush him, stabbing him in the thigh. The guy's thighs were bleeding and he fell to the ground, losing the ability to move. How could this happen? This guy is so powerful. Tamaha, are you okay? Konoha shinobi asked with concern at this time. It turned out that this guy's name was Uchiha Fua, but Kusachiba had no time to pay attention to him. He knocked him out with a sword and took him back to study Sharingan. Among the entire Hokage, Sharingan is a great weapon, otherwise how could Sasuke and Itachi become masters? At this moment, Kusatake had already destroyed the Earth-style guy, and the guy using the Earth-style was killed by Kusatake with a knife. He was about to attack the guy using the Water-style. Who is this guy and how can he be so powerful? Asuma said in surprise. In his mind, even his father Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't take care of Uchiha Fua so easily. We can't let the whole team be destroyed, we have to take action. Two-punch style kunai appeared in Asuma's hand, with a white air current appearing on them, ready to attack. Asuma is a wind style user. Unfortunately, his moves were unable to take advantage of Kusachiba. He was kicked out by Kusachiba and turned over a dozen times. Asuma, run away quickly. They are targeting you. As long as you leave, we will be safe. The water-style ninja shouted. Noisy, Kusachiba said unhappily, and shot the pheasant sword towards his throat. The guy's throat was immediately blocked, a blood arrow spurted out, and the guy fell to the ground. Asuma knew his situation and was about to escape, but unfortunately he was too slow and bumped into Kusachiba, who stopped him without giving him a chance to escape. Don't kill them all, leave one alive and let them go back and report the news. The transaction will be at the junction of Konoha and Rain Shinobi Village. When the time comes, the money will be paid and the goods will be delivered. Kusachiba said calmly. What? Asuma was kidnapped? Sarutobi Hiruzen said looking at the ninja who escaped. Sarutobi Hiruzen was furious, no need to think that this was also done by Kusakunin village. The other party demands a ransom and conducts transactions at the junction of Rain Shinobi Village and Konoha. The ninja muttered, not daring to look at the angry Sarutobi Hiruzen. Get out of here, you loser, don't let me see you. You are such a fool. You kidnapped my son and I will make Kusakunin village pay the due price. Sarutobi Hiruzen cursed loudly. This is the Grass Ninja Village's provocation to Konoha, and it is also a question to his authority as the third Hokage. If this matter cannot be handled properly, Konoha shinobi's dignity will be slighted. We in Konoha will not accept any threats, even if he is my son. Sarutobi Hiruzen said firmly. But Asuma is still very young and has a long future. A ninja next to him said at this time. The dignity of Konoha cannot be desecrated. Since Asuma is a ninja, he should be mentally prepared on the day he becomes a ninja. Sarutobi Hiruzen said firmly, very harshly. The ninja next to him wanted to speak, but then Sarutobi Hiruzen said sternly, stop talking, I have my own plan. Third generation Sama, this matter should not be done like this. I think Asuma must be rescued and teach the grass ninja village a lesson. Namikaze Minato with blonde hair walked in. Shansen said. Minato, there is actually a way to solve it. Unless I am not the third Hokage, Asuma will lose its use value. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. Third generation Sama, that's not what I meant. Namikaze Minato explained quickly. Rumors about Konoha's fourth generation project candidate being Namikaze Minato have been around for a long time, and now that he suddenly comes in, it will inevitably cause some confusion. Minato, please stop talking. Now I will give up the Hokage's position and hold the Hokage's appointment ceremony another day. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a determined look. This thin old man contains powerful energy in his body. At this moment, he is no longer a Hokage, but more like a father, making his own decisions. Grass Ninja Village, I will make them pay the price. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen only had madness in his eyes, with shocking murderous intent. Master third generation, don't leave. At this time, the ninja next to him said. But Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't stop at all and walked towards the distance. Namikaze Minato watched Sarutobi Hiruzen's shadow being lengthened, feeling the old man's determination, and said, hurry up and raise money, we will go rescue Asuma right away. Hearing Namikaze Minato's words, the ninja showed a smile on his face and said, okay, Hokage-sama, we will go to Wu immediately. At this moment, Kusachiba saw the village destroyed by the beast ninjas in the grass ninja village. It was devastated, the injured villagers looked tired, and there were also people who died in this disaster, which was shocking. Sir, I'm so sorry. Our villagers have been injured too much. There are not enough beds in the hospital, and the supply of medicines is also insufficient. If this continues, if the condition is allowed to worsen, a large number of people will be killed or injured. A civilian ninja said. Hearing the report from the civil servants, Kusachiba also looked helpless. This is the tragedy of Shao Ninja Village. Without strength, he can only become a vassal of the Great Ninja Village, begging for mercy from the Great Ninja Village, just hoping to survive in this troubled world. Often, the little ninja village can only become cannon fodder for the big ninja village. A simple order from them will put the little ninja village into a situation that is beyond redemption. In the distance, a little girl was naked, her face covered with dust, holding a dirty rag doll, walking barefoot on the street, calling for her mother. Mom, where are you? I want to find my mother. The little girl stopped people along the way and asked where her mother was, crying very sadly. Seeing this scene, Kusachiba was quite moved. He walked up to her and said, little sister, what is your name? My name is Suzuki Benshi. I want to find my mother. Have you seen her? Suzuki Benshi cried. A ninja suddenly ran over and whispered a few words into Kusachiba's ear. Kusachiba looked over and saw a young woman in a skirt lying in the ruins. Her face was somewhat similar to that of a little girl. Kusachiba couldn't bear to let the little girl fall into sadness, and said warmly, little sister, your mother should be in the hospital, I will take you to find her. Really? Suzuki Benshi said innocently. Yes, did your mother buy this doll for you? Kusachiba changed the subject and said. Yes, my mother bought it for me, and I like it very much. Suzuki Motoxi said innocently and brilliantly. Konoha Village, just because of their dissatisfaction, our villagers will fall into this kind of disaster. Why? Kusachiba shouted angrily in his heart. Is it just because he called himself a shadow? Is it true that our Kusanagi village only deserves to rely on the breath of Konoha to survive and does not deserve to have its own strength? At this moment, Kusachiba once again hated the so-called Great Ninja Village. He survived by chance because he was treated as cannon fodder. Unexpectedly, even if he becomes stronger, he still cannot prevent the village from being bullied. Since the major countries are not intimidated by my strength, I will build a powerful Great Ninja Village to let you see my strength. Kusachiba thought in his mind. Since Konoha Village is the first to invade me, I will attack you Konoha. Kusachiba said bitterly. Soon, Kusachiba sent Suzuki Motoki to the hospital. He shouted to Kusutaki, bring Sarutobi Asuma up immediately. I want Konoha to know the price of offending our Kusanagi village. Seeing the anger on Kusachiba's face, Kusutaki didn't say anything. Although he had seen many scenes of life and death, he still couldn't help but be angry when the ninja village he regarded as a treasure was completely destroyed. Work with me and let them understand the price of being decent to us. Cao Qian said aloud. I am willing to follow you to the death, Kusatake said. Sarutobi Asuma was masked and set off with Kusachiba and Kusatake to the junction between Rain Shinobi Village and Konoha, preparing to teach them a lesson they deserved this time. This time I will kill and injure the Konoha shinobi to let them know the consequences of offending the Grass Ninja Village. The dignity of the Grass Ninja Village cannot be violated. Yes, the dignity of the Grass Ninja Village cannot be violated. Kusachiba brought Sanin, one of the Dawn Five, to the meeting place. Sarutobi Asuma has been in fear for the past 2 days, fearing that this group of kidnappers will tear him apart. Now that he knows that they are grass ninjas, he will feel calmer. Before they get the ransom, they should not kill themselves. At the junction of Konoha and Rain Shinobi Village, a thin man was waiting there. The old man had a solemn expression on his face. No one knew his mood at the moment. He was trying to rescue his young son who was captured. Lord Sarutobi, it seems you have arrived early, Kusachiba said with a fang mask. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked tired and lacked the energy he had at the Three Shadows conference, but Kusachiba felt a sense of determination from him. Did Asuma bring it? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked. Where's the ransom? Kusachiba said firmly and uncompromisingly. I need to see Asuma before I can pay the ransom, Sarutobi Hiruzen said. Bring it up. Kusachiba waved his hand, and Asuma was pushed up by Kusatake wearing a blue ogre mask. Pay the ransom, Lord Sarutobi, Kusachiba said. There is no ransom, Sarutobi Hiruzen said calmly, as if he was talking about something insignificant. There's no ransom, you're kidding me. If you don't pay the ransom, you know the consequences. A ninja sword appeared in Kusachiba's hand and came to Asuma's side in an instant, laying it across his throat. If you dare, you are not afraid of offending Konoha. You should know the price of offending a great ninja village. I hope you will not make a mistake, Sarutobi Hiruzen said, with a lot of threats in his words. It seems that Lord Sarutobi doesn't want your son to leave here alive. Anyway, then he will be buried here with your son, which will make us famous, Kusachiba said, with more excitement in his tone. What, just because you want to kill me is not enough? After saying that, Sarutobi Hiruzen personally took action to rescue Asuma. Interesting, an Asuma is not valuable at all, but if you can catch a current Hokage, it will be valuable. Kusachiba suddenly thought of this idea. You actually dare to provoke Konoha, I will make you pay the price you deserve today. Sarutobi Hiruzen snorted. Hearing what Sarutobi Hiruzen said, Kusachiba was angry. For the sake of the dignity of the great ninja village, so many innocent people of the Grass Ninja Village were sacrificed. He wanted to destroy this so-called dignity, even at the cost of destroying Konoha. Tooth for tooth, eye for eye. Water-style water dragon technique. Kusachiba took the lead in launching an attack, forming a seal with one hand, and a huge water dragon rose into the air, vividly alive and carrying huge momentum. This giant dragon was far larger than an ordinary water dragon. It kept swinging in the air, gathering a powerful offensive. A huge dragon roar, like a giant dragon flying down from the 9 heavens, came to Sarutobi Hiruzen instantly with inviolable dignity. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt the threat of this water dragon, and quickly formed a seal, shouting, Earth Style, Earth Flow Wall Technique. A huge wall appeared, very strong, trying to block the appearance of the dragon. However, the dragon's attack power was too strong, and the wall was instantly defeated, and it suddenly arrived in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. When Sarutobi Hiruzen saw this scene, he knew that he could not block it out of thin air, so he quickly formed a seal with his hands and shouted, Earth Style, Shadow Clone Technique. A shadow clone made of clay was washed away by the water dragon. Sarutobi Hiruzen touched his chest, panting heavily, and looked at the water dragon with a trace of confusion in his eyes. Who is this? The last time the person put me under such great pressure was first generation second Hokage. Is this guy in front of me? A mysterious name appeared in the mind of third generation. That person is a taboo in Konoha, and even if it has been many years, he is still unwilling to advance. It's just that the voice of the masked man just now was very young, so it shouldn't be him. But as soon as Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped, the water dragon actually went away and came back, zigzagging back and attacking him. The power of the water dragon was terrifying. Kusachiba formed a seal with one hand and controlled its movement all the time, just to torture Sarutobi Hiruzen and consume his chakra. Tired of running for his life, he is already old anyway and his physical strength is not as good as when he was in his prime. Fire style, Phoenix fire technique. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted. Sarutobi Hiruzen spit out fireballs from his mouth, and the attack trajectory followed the shape of the fruit of the impatience. The trajectory of these fireballs changed with the attack direction of the water dragon. Those fireballs were controlled by the Sarutobi Hiruzen chakra in an attempt to neutralize the water dragon's attack. Meanwhile, in order to gain the initiative, Sarutobi Hiruzen mixed his shurikens into the mix, attacking towards where Kusachiba was. Kusachiba teleported to the third Hokage, his Chunin sword appeared, and he kicked Sarutobi Hiruzen with his feet. The two sides were going back and forth, punching and kicking, and engaging in a physical duel. Kusachiba's physical skills had already reached the top level, and he had an advantage in this kind of duel. You want to take me down with this method, don't you know the strength of our great ninja village shadow, please see it. Sarutobi Hiruzen said loudly, his tone was very contemptuous. But what responded to him was Kusachiba's punch, which had the wind attribute chakra. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was immediately cut by Kusachiba's punch, and blood flowed out. Third Hokage was about to resist Kusachiba's fist, but was kicked in the abdomen by Kusachiba, and his whole body rolled to the ground like a winter melon. This is the strength of the cage-level experts in the great ninja village. I think it is nothing more than this, Kusachiba said with a smile. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked bad, feeling that the slap in the face came too soon, and said, "Come again." After saying that, Sarutobi Hiruzen took the initiative to attack and competed with Kusanagi in taijutsu. But what disappointed Sarutobi Hiruzen was that Kusachiba's physical skills were much higher than his, and he quickly kicked him to the ground. This time the injury was more serious than last time. What kind of monster is this kid? Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little desperate. His physical skills were already at the highest level, but when compared with the guy in front of him, he was completely suppressed and had no ability to tell the truth. At this moment, the power of the water dragon has not been completely eliminated. Kusachiba immediately jumped on the dragon's head and said to Sarutobi Hiruzen, "Look, old man, how the dignity of the great ninja village has been trampled on by me." After saying that, Sarutobi Hiruzen was dumbfounded. The water dragon came towards him. If he was hit, he would definitely be seriously injured. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not dare to save his chakra at this moment. He immediately formed a seal and shouted, "5 Escape Dalian Bomb Technique." 5 Escape Dalian Bullet Technique. This is the ultimate move of 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. He can use chakra of 5 attributes very skillfully. Sarutobi Hiruzen simultaneously fired 5 ninjutsu with different attributes: fire, thunder, water, earth, and wind, and fired missiles with different attributes in the direction of Kusachiba. I underestimated this old man. I didn't expect this kind of ninjutsu. It's surprising, Kusachiba said in a low voice. Seeing this scene, Kusatake was amazed. Lord Kusage is so powerful, it's really unimaginable that he actually forced the 3rd Hokage to this point. Sarutobi Asuma also marveled. This is the first time I have seen such a desperate father. The opponent is too tough. Sarutobi Hiruzen's 5th level bomb attack was able to eliminate a lot of Kusachiba's water dragons in one go. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's ninjutsu, Kusachiba had a look of surprise on his face. This old ghost was indeed not simple. He thought he could be easily controlled. Taijutsu Falling Leaves. Kusachiba shouted loudly. A ninja sword appeared in his hand, picking up the stray bullets flying over. According to the original setting of the Hokage world, Sarutobi Hiruzen can master the 5 abilities of chakra nature transformation, so he can use this ninjutsu. These stray bullets with different attributes of chakra make it very difficult for Kusachiba to deal with. Kusachiba tried to use his ninja sword to carry these stray bullets far away, but the power was too strong, and they often exploded as soon as they touched them. If Kusachiba hadn't been able to hide quickly, he might have suffered. After a while, Sarutobi Hiruzen took a breath and regained his strength. Seeing Kusachiba hanging there, he did not dare to relax at all. How long has it taken for this guy to grow to such an extent? Sarutobi Hiruzen said with lingering fear. Seeing that the 5 escape bombs could not cause damage to Kusachiba, he could only use the move. Summoning technique. Sarutobi Hiruzen slapped his palm on the ground and began to summon his summoning beast. A huge ape appeared out of thin air. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was slightly exhausted, he hugged him and said, "Sarutobi, you are injured." Sarutobi Hiruzen looked tired and stood up straight with the support of the monkey demon. At this time, the monkey demon suddenly turned into a diamond stick and appeared in the hands of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sarutobi Hiruzen stood still and attacked Kusachiba, who had eliminated the 5 escape bomb. When Kusachiba saw Sarutobi Hiruzen already holding a stick, he felt wary. At this time, the ninja sword in his hand suddenly disappeared, and the selected Kusanagi sword appeared. If the opponent has the Vajra Rui stick, he will definitely not be able to resist it if he uses an ordinary ninja sword. Sarutobi Hiruzen was fighting with Kusachiba holding the Vajra Wishful stick. At this time, the system issued a mission. Ding, defeat Sarutobi Hiruzen and be rewarded with 2000 attribute points. Kusachiba is full of motivation this time. He is looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen with walking attribute points. Kusachiba's physical skills have already reached the top level. At this point, he is worthy of everyone, and he also has the sacred weapon Kusanagi sword in his hand, so he is not afraid of anything. The two people changed places and exchanged positions. During the several ups and downs in the air, they had already fought 5 or 6 times. The swords and sticks struck each other, making a clanging sound. The two sides were tied in this round, but Kusachiba didn't care about this. He didn't believe that Sarutobi Hiruzen could keep competing with him in taijutsu. A powerful sword stabbed towards Sarutobi Hiruzen's lower abdomen. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt the strong sword blow and could only avoid it. At this moment, Kusachiba caught Sarutobi Hiruzen's momentary flaw and kicked him in the abdomen. Sarutobi Hiruzen was kicked far away and rolled on the ground like a winter melon. A mouthful of blood spattered out, and Sarutobi was seriously injured. Kusachiba will naturally not hold back while your illness kills you. Body flicker technique came to Sarutobi Hiruzen and wiped his sword towards his neck. But at this moment, the Vajra Rui rod transformed into dozens of clones and surrounded Kusachiba from all directions, creating a prison to trap him. King Kong prison wall. Kusachiba said aloud. This is the ability of the ape demon. If others are trapped by this spell, they may be helpless. But how could Kusachiba let the monkey demon get his wish and prepare to start violent cracking? I equals hash. At this moment, seeing the trapped Kusachiba, Sarutobi Hiruzen stood up slowly, with injuries everywhere on his body. Seeing Kusachiba wearing a mask, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt very stressed. He did not dare to be careless at all. After all, the guy in front of him was no ordinary person, he was simply a spiritual geek. Sarutobi, kill him. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not dare to take it lightly and gave the final order. Unwilling to die, Kusachiba launched an offensive with the grass pheasant sword in his hand, preparing to use lightning style to attack. Leikamu, this is the eternal truth. Lightning style micro-lightning storage and detonation. Kusachiba stretched the grass pheasant sword into the air and immediately summoned a miniature thunder bomb. The bomb immediately split open and exploded onto the Vajra prison wall incarnated by the ape demon. A wail of pain came from the monkey demon, which was obviously seriously disturbed by Kusachiba's miniature thunder bomb. This cage can no longer contain Kusachiba and has a tendency to collapse immediately. Seeing this scene, Sarutobi Hiruzen did not dare to be careless, and immediately transformed into 3 clones, surrounding the grass blade that was about to break out of the prison. Sealing technique, 3-party seal. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not dare to hide his secrets at this moment, and took action with all his strength. Now is the time to fight. The 2 clones form a triangle with the main body, surrounding Kusachiba in the middle, and a transparent pyramid emitting white light is formed between the 3 people. Kusachiba, who was breaking the cage, saw Sarutobi Hiruzen activating the sealing technique. He did not show any fear. Instead, he came to him, stabbed out with his sword, and escaped from the trap in one fell swoop. Seeing that Kusachiba was freed from the shackles of the monkey demon, Sarutobi Hiruzen instinctively wanted to speed up the sealing, but what he didn't expect was that Kusachiba could actually resist the sealing technique. In Sarutobi Hiruzen's surprised eyes, he stabbed his heart, and 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen died under Kusachiba's sword. At this time, a voice came from the system. Ding, the mission is accomplished, and you will be rewarded with 2,000 attribute points. Seeing those attributes of his own, Kusachiba thought about how to enhance his other attributes. Of course, Kusachiba will not forget the purpose of his trip and ask for ransom from Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen fell to the ground with his eyes wide open, in disbelief. Master Kusage, what should we do next? Kusatake came over immediately and said. Kusachiba did not speak, but felt fluctuations of chakra energy around him, as if someone was coming to investigate. A tall man with golden hair appeared here. Kusachiba took a look and saw that it was Namikaze Minato, the man known as the Shining Man of Konoha. He saw 3rd Hokage lying on the ground, with a sad look on his face, and suddenly snatched him away from Kusachiba. Kusachiba has to question Namikaze Minato's sadness. When he was fighting Sarutobi Hiruzen just now, he felt a powerful chakra around him. If he is willing to show up and fight with 3rd Hokage, I am afraid that 3rd Hokage will not die. This made Kusachiba have to question his motives, whether he planned to add insult to injury and let Kusachiba kill the 3rd Hokage to facilitate his rise to power. In the original work, Namikaze Minato looks harmless, but when it comes to a power struggle, she has to think otherwise. Stop crying first, come up with the ransom first, otherwise no one will leave here. Kusachiba said, waving the grass pheasant sword in his hand. Seeing this scene, Namikaze Minato had no choice but to ask his subordinates to take out the prepared coins and hand them to Kusachiba. Kusachiba immediately directed Kusatake to come forward and take the money. At this time, Namikaze Minato said, give Asuma back. He already got what he wanted, and Asuma had no use keeping it. Kusachiba reached out and waved. Shiro and Zabuza pushed Asuma forward, pushed him hard forward, and let him run towards the Konoha shinobi's position. Asuma just arrived and saw his father's body. He turned around and wanted to go to Kusachiba to avenge his father's murder. But he was grabbed by Namikaze Minato and told him not to act rashly. Namikaze Minato knew very well that with the strength of his group of people, he could not defeat Kusachiba for sure, but if he wanted to escape unscathed, they would not want to keep him. Namikaze Minato ordered his men to flee immediately, and he stayed behind. This group of ninjas did not hesitate. They turned around and left without hesitation. They also understood that their stay here was of no use except being a drag. Namikaze Minato stops Kusachiba's pursuit and prepares to fight him. Wave Peak. What Minato is best at is the Flying Thunder God technique, which is so fast that it surpasses the entire Hokage world, but of course that didn't appear. Now the speed of the two people is completely matched, and no one can suppress the other. There was another fight between the two people, and the two sides began to fight and compete in physical skills. Kusachiba had the upper hand, suppressing Namikaze Minato. Wave points. Minato saw that he could not gain an advantage, so his left hand began to condense and compress the air. As soon as he saw this action, Kusachiba naturally knew what this ninjutsu was. This is the legendary Rasengan. The essence of this ninjutsu is to change the form of chakra into ultimate. During this process, chakra is concentrated on the hand, flowing in irregular directions and compressed, forming a chakra ball as big as the palm of your hand, which attacks the opponent. Thinking of those opponents who were hit, chakra will be disordered and they will lose their fighting ability in an instant. Kusachiba has long known how powerful this ninjutsu is and does not dare to be careless in the slightest. At the same time, wind style condensed in his hand, and he shouted, "Wind style Peacock Cyclone." I saw a large number of wind styles spinning and heading towards Namikaze Minato's Rasengan to offset. The two sides began to compete with each other during the contact, and Kusachiba's wind style was actually at a disadvantage under Rasengan's attack. This Rasengan is the first protagonist ninjutsu in Hokage, and it seems to be quite powerful. Kusachiba did not stop his attack, and immediately began to gather his wind style, wanting to continue attacking Rasengan. Wind style Tornado Fist. Kusachiba used this punch to attack Rasengan. Suddenly, the power of Peacock Tornado became huge due to the increase of Whirlwind Fist, completely suppressing Rasengan. Upon seeing this, Namikaze Minato knew that it was not advisable to stay here for a long time, so he swung his shuriken and immediately escaped using the Flying Thunder God technique. Soon, Kusa Chiba suppressed the Rasengan and saw the fleeing Namikaze Minato, but did not pursue it. Sir, do you want to pursue me? Kusatake came over and asked for instructions. Kusa Chiba didn't say anything. They picked up the bag of money and prepared to return to Kusanagi village. This time they defeated Konoha village's conspiracy and greatly increased the confidence of Kusatake and others. The so-called Great Ninja Village of Konoha is nothing more than that. Their Hokage died at the hands of Master Kusa Chiba. Soon, everyone returned to Kusanagi village. Kusa Chiba called the civil servant in charge of the entire village's finances and ordered him to buy various supplies immediately. Seeing the piles of banknotes, the civil servant almost stopped standing. This was the first time he had seen so many banknotes in so many years in the Grass Ninja Village, and he felt a little dizzy. Kusa Chiba didn't talk to him and asked him to do it quickly. It is estimated that the development of Kusakunin village will have to wait for a while, and reconstruction will be a problem. At this time, Kusa Chiba thought of Nagato. This guy must have been practicing Rinnegan for a while, and he wanted to see the results. In Mist Ninja Village, the Circle Swordsman is famous among the people. The owner of the broadsword Samahata is still the puffer fish ghost of Zigwashan. At this moment, he brought his subordinates to perform the task. Hoshigaki Kisame looked at the Konoha shinobi who surrounded his side, led by Morino Ihiki. Hoshigaki Kisame of Konoha, knows how powerful he is. If he is caught by him, the information in his hands cannot be concealed at all. As a ninja, you must ensure the completion of the mission even if you die, and the information must not fall into the hands of the enemy. Therefore, Hoshigaki Kisame could only make a cruel decision to kill his companions. In the surprised eyes of Morino Ihiki, Hoshigaki Kisame killed all his companions and their bodies fell to the ground, preventing them from getting the information. Hoshigaki Kisame knew that this operation was very secretive, and no one could know about their actions unless someone tipped them off. Thinking of potential candidates to leak the whereabouts of his group, the most suspicious one is his boss Zigwashan Puffer Ghost. Hoshigaki Kisame decided to save his life, avenge his dead companions, and find the real culprit who betrayed them. Hoshigaki Kisame wanted to escape, but no one could stop him, so Konoha shinobi had no choice but to let him escape. The pufferfish ghost of Zigwa Mountain is feeling complacent. He leaked information to the ninjas from neighboring countries. I am afraid that all of his men have become dead souls at this moment. But when he saw Hoshigaki Kisame standing in front of him, the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost was stunned. This person who was not supposed to appear appeared here. This surprised the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost, and he quickly got up to fight. There was a cruel smile on Hoshigaki Kisame's face. He was betrayed by one of his own people, and he was still his most respected boss. The heartache felt by others cannot be measured by others. Go to hell. Hoshigaki Kisame responded to his own attack without any hesitation. The pufferfish ghost of Zigwashan believes that having the sword Samahata will ensure victory very well, and no one can take Samahata away from him. But Hoshigaki Kisame was an exception. Samahata did not attack him, but interacted closely with him like an old friend. Seeing this scene, the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon showed a surprised expression, but Hoshigaki Kisame didn't talk nonsense to him anymore and beat him to death. At this time, a dark figure appeared, wearing a mask with a Sharingan exposed, and said, "You have been separated from your relatives now, and you have nowhere to go, so you can follow me." Hoshigaki Kisame thought that this was indeed the case. Without any hesitation, he picked up a big sword and followed the black shadow. At this moment, Kusa Chiba, who is far away in Kusanagi village, is thinking about gathering the 7 ninja swordsmen to become a force under his command. But now the most powerful Samahata is being taken away. This is what he doesn't want to see. He is ready to attack and bring Hoshigaki Kisame back to form his own 7 ninja swordsmen. Of course, the most important thing is Nagato's Rinnegan. According to the setting of the original work, Rinnegan is Uchiha Madara transplanted into the young Nagato. Because Nagato was born in the Uzumaki clan and is a distant relative of the Senju clan, they have similarities in blood. Uchiha Madara's original idea was to have Nagato resurrect him, but now that he meets Kusa Chiba, this wish is naturally difficult to achieve. Kusa Chiba saw Nagato. He was a little unfamiliar with mastering Rinnegan. He couldn't master it specifically and was still figuring it out. Nagato looked at Kusachiba with a look of helplessness. Nagato knew Kusachiba's expectations, but now he has not figured out these ultimate moves. On the contrary, Kusachiba comforted Nagato to take his time and not to rush. If it was so easy, he would not be the top fighting force later. At this time, a ninja ran up to Kusachiba and whispered a few words in his ear. When Kusachiba heard this, a thoughtful look appeared on his face. He pondered for a while and said, "Call Kusatake and Zabuza and set out to capture Hoshigaki Kisame." So, the 4-person arrest team from Kusanagi village set out again. The man in black who took away Hoshigaki Kisame was wearing a one-eyed mask and running at top speed. Maybe I feel that the situation is tense and I am afraid that someone will intercept me. In front of them, 2 people suddenly appeared. One of them had a gray back, lavender eyes, a forehead protector on his neck, and a necklace from the evil god cult around his neck, with a ferocious expression. The other one was dressed strangely and looked very fierce. Seeing the masked man coming, the 2 of them looked slightly cold and said, "Why have you been away for so long and only brought back such a guy?" Hoshigaki Kisame heard the other party speaking very rudely, his face stiffened, and he wanted to take action. "Okay, it's not advisable to stay here for a long time. Get out of here quickly." The masked man saw that the surrounding environment was quite cold and he was afraid of something happening. "What a coward," the man with the back of his head said, with a look of contempt on his face. "Ha ha ha, you don't have to leave, just stay here today." Suddenly Kusachiba's voice came, and he was seen standing on a tall tree, looking at the 4 people below. "Who are you?" Seeing Kusachiba standing high up, the masked man asked. "It doesn't matter who I am, leave the dried persimmon Kisame and Samahata," Kusaba said coldly. After saying that, Kusachiba stopped talking and took out his ninja sword and attacked first. The masked man didn't want to take action, but it was the 2 people behind him who couldn't help but take action, the man with the back of his head and the weird man. Seeing their outfits, Kusachiba remembered the killing pair, Hidan and Kakuzu. He didn't expect to meet them here, which surprised Kusachiba. "Masked man, you go first, we will block it for you," Hidan said aloud. The masked man did not hesitate and was immediately ready to withdraw. But before he could go out, he was stopped by 3 people, namely Kusachiba's subordinates Kusatake and Shiro, and Momochi Zabuza. Seeing Zabuza Momochi, Hoshigaki Kisame felt a little uncomfortable on his face. He didn't expect to see him here, in the enemy camp. "Kisame," Zabuza greeted. Hoshigaki Kisame's face turned cold and he said unhappily, "Tch. Both of them are aloof and don't want to talk to each other, but as the original 7 ninja swordsmen, now they have big swords in their hands, so they naturally want to compete." Kusatake faced off against the masked man. Although he didn't know his depth, he still wanted to test it out. Kusachiba was a little worried when he saw Kusatake fighting with the masked man. "Hehe, if you are still in the mood to worry about others, please worry about yourself first." Hidan sneered as he waved the sickle in his hand, slashed it towards Kusachiba's body. Kusachiba jumped and shone quickly, fearing that he would be hurt by the scythe. Hidan's cursed ninjutsu was very troublesome. Seeing that Kusachiba actually dodged his scythe, Hidan made a surprised sound on his face, hummed, and suddenly took action quickly. 3 consecutive hits of blood scythe. The sickle in Hidan's hand flew towards Kusachiba, making a sound of breaking through the air. In fact, Hidan's ninjutsu ability is very poor, and all he relies on is immortality, but in Kusachiba's opinion, it is not that difficult to crack him. Kusachiba suddenly took action, and instantly came to Hidan. He stabbed Hidan in the abdomen with his chunin knife, stabbing him. "Ha ha ha, aren't you surprised that you can't kill me?" Hidan smiled wildly, which made people uncomfortable. Suddenly, Hidan's flying sickle was pulled back by the rope in his hand. Kusachiba immediately dodged away, not daring to let Hidan hurt him. Seeing Kusachiba ducking away again, Hidan said unhappily, "Tch." Hidan felt quite puzzled. Not many people should know about his abilities, but the young man in front of him seemed to be worried about his scythe, making it impossible for him to use his tricks. Kusachiba knows that if he only cares about Hidan, he will definitely not be able to take Hoshigaki Kisame away. After all, there is still a Kakuzu. Suddenly, Kakuzu, who had been watching from the sidelines, launched an attack. A black tentacle attacked Kusachiba's back. This was Kakuzu's secret technique. I saw the black tentacles growing out of Kakuzu's body attacking Kusachiba. Driven by the Kakuzu chakra, its attack ability was extraordinary. Kusachiba quickly dodged. This attack is suitable for long-distance combat and prevents the opponent from getting close, which is very tricky. But Kusachiba was definitely not willing to defend passively. He immediately put the ninja sword in his hand in front of him, brought the fire attribute chakra, and slashed at the black tentacle. To Kusachiba's expectation, the black tentacle broke when it touched the ninja sword with the fire attribute chakra. Kakuzu saw that this move didn't work, and his opponent took the advantage, leaving him very passive. Suddenly, Kusachiba separated 3 shadow clone and attacked Kakuzu. Kusachiba handed the ninja sword to one of the shadow clone, and he held the Kusanagi sword himself and started to attack from the front. Because Kusachiba's taijutsu is at full level, he can dodge the black tentacle's attack on him, so it is difficult to hurt him. The black tentacle attack is difficult, but the Kusachiba sword appears with fire attribute chakra and attacks Kakuzu. Soon, Kakuzu's black tentacles were defeated by Kusachiba's attack, and soon attacked in front of him. Seeing that he was at a disadvantage, Kakuzu decided that he could no longer use such low-level attacks. Kakuzu shouted, "Secret technique Earth Resentment U." The 4 masks behind Kakuzu begin to appear, and the black tentacles begin to expand crazily, as he transforms into a monster. Kusataki, who was fighting the masked man, saw this scene with a surprised expression on his face. Kusachiba had long known that this would happen, and stood calmly, watching Kakuzu begin to change. Kusachiba just held the Kusanagi sword across his chest and looked at Kakuzu and Hidan. Soon Kakuzu's transformation was completed. The black tentacles gathered into a huge body, which looked very bloated. It wore 4 masks, each with different attributes. Seeing this, Kusachiba understood that these were Kakuzu's so-called 5 lives. Behind each of this guy's masks was a heart. When fighting an opponent, once one of his hearts fails, he will use secret techniques to dig out the opponent's heart and replace the original heart, and at the same time, he can also perform the same ninjutsu. Hidan saw Kakuzu using his ultimate move and shouted, "Get some of this guy's blood quickly. I will use him to sacrifice to the evil god and let the god punish him." Kusachiba glanced at Hidan speechlessly, a cult lunatic. Almost forgetting about him, Kusachiba immediately turned to deal with Hidan. It was quite troublesome for the 2 of them to deal with him together. 3 more shadow clone attacked in the direction of Hidan. Fire-style dragon fire technique. After forming the seal, a huge linear flame rushed towards Hidan's location, with great power and rapid speed. Hidan quickly started to dodge, but as soon as he dodged, the big tree behind him suffered damage and was interrupted instantly. Hidan just heard a weird laugh, but a figure quietly appeared behind him and shouted, "Lightning-style thunder strike." I saw a blue current appear in the shadow clone's hand, hitting Hidan hard in midair. Hidan immediately fell heavily to the ground, with electric sparks coming out of his body and making a sizzling sound. Kusachiba would not miss this opportunity. He teleported to Hidan, chopped off his head, separated him, and kicked the headless corpse far away. He threw Hidan's head into his shadow clone's hand again, and at the same time, an explosive talisman appeared in his hand, and Hidan's headless corpse was all over it, detonating it in an instant. Suddenly, there was the sound of explosion in the air, and the corpse was blown away. There was nothing left except a puff of black smoke. But Hidan wasn't nervous at all, and his head burst out laughing at that sentence, "The evil god will bless me, and I won't die." But Kusachiba would not let him get what he wanted. He immediately threw a pheasant sword in his hand, hit him between the eyebrows, and nailed Hidan's head to a tree. I wonder if there is that kind of flame that can burn this so-called immortal body to death. Kusachiba murmured in a low voice. At this time, a voice came from the system. 500 attribute points can be redeemed for this task. Do you want to choose to trade? When Kusachiba saw the prompt panel, he still had 2000 attribute points anyway, so he wouldn't feel bad if he spent 500. Moreover, after killing Hidan, he could still get 800 attribute points, which was a deal he could do. So Kusachiba chose yes without hesitation, and suddenly a dark flame appeared in Kusachiba's hand. It was not hot, but but a cold and faint feeling, which made people feel scared from the bottom of their bones. Hidan, who had been laughing just now, changed his face and shouted eagerly, "Whatever you want to do, the evil god will punish you." But Kusachiba didn't care what he was doing. The cold flame immediately attached to Hidan's head and started to burn. Soon, a burst of screams sounded, and Hidan's head disappeared at a visible speed, with no possibility of regeneration. When Kusachiba saw this scene, he was very angry. At this time, a voice came from the system. Hidan was successfully killed, 800 attribute points were added, and the attribute value is 2,300. Kusachiba pulled out the Kusanagi sword and began to attack Kakuzu. Kakuzu's face changed slightly when he saw this scene, feeling that Kusachiba was difficult to deal with. The 4 nature masks began to emit chakra with different properties. Kusachiba knew that if he wanted to kill Kakuzu, he must destroy these 5 hearts, and he could not keep any of them. Kusachiba saw this and immediately started attacking. I remember that in the original work, he was set up by Shikamaru to destroy 1, Naruto killed all his cells and 2 hearts, and Kakashi destroyed 2 hearts. Kusachiba went to the hospital and started his heart-destroying plan. He remembered that Kakuzu actually had 2 properties, earth and water, which he used to confuse his opponents. Kakuzu first released the wind-style area monster, which is similar to an animal, with 4 legs on the ground, thin wings, and blue facial patterns. Wind-style, pressure. Kakuzu shouted loudly. This is the wind-style ninjutsu issued by one of the 5 hearts of Kakuzu. A storm full of fierce scratches is seen, and a super heavy cannon is fired. A high-density compressed tornado struck towards Kusachiba. This ninjutsu in Kusachiba's memory is quite terrifying. If used by a wind-style master, the vortex-forming storm will explode over a wide area, causing huge damage to the target and its surroundings. If he was hit by this wind style, he would probably be wiped out. Of course, Kusachiba would not dare to take it lightly. In a blink of an eye, he quickly moved away. This time he chose to fight with his own body, and was in front of Kakuzu in an instant. Before Kakuzu could retract his body, he saw blue electricity appear in Kusachiba's hand and shouted, "Lightning-style peacock slash." A dense current shot into the blue striped mask, and with a click, the mask shattered, and the heart under the mask was immediately destroyed. Only then did Kakuzu come back to his senses. He was extremely angry and grabbed the black tentacles on his body towards Kusachiba. But the speed of the tentacles couldn't keep up with Kusachiba's retreat speed. Song Neng returned disappointed. After this heart was destroyed, Kakuzu was unable to send out wind style, which made it easier for Kusachiba to deal with it. Kakuzu saw Kusachiba, and even though he had turned into a monster at the moment, he still had a look of horror on his face. You must know that Kakuzu once assassinated first Hokage Senju Hashirama. Although it failed, it can make him famous far and wide. Senju Hashirama didn't kill his heart so quickly back then. The boy in front of him was probably only a teenager. Why was he so powerful? Kusachiba is ready to take action and quickly capture Kakuzu. Kakuzu was shocked and began to take precautions in his heart. He released the water-based mask. The water-style mask monster has an oval body, long arms, and green facial patterns. I saw Kakuzu shouting, "Water-style water curtain tent." I saw Kakuzu's monster body ejecting powerful water cannons to suppress Kusachiba. However, the scale of the water activated by this water curtain is not large, but its defensive power is extremely strong. At the same time, Kakuzu also added lightning style, preparing to use it to spit out electric shocks in the water. Kusachiba saw this and was about to attack, wanting to inflict a heavy blow on him. But how could Kusachiba let him get what he wanted? He held the grass pheasant sword in his hand, preparing to use the fire style move, and shouted, "Fire style giant fire dragon technique." A huge flame appeared and attacked Kakuzu's water curtain. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.